Scola.
There was a radar online. Is that the? Oh, did I even have it? I might have read it and not sent it over. Opie over there at Sirius XM Satellite Radio. I guess Radar Online put out a story about how he's done in October. They're figuring out a way to fire him when his contract is up, or let him go, or not re-sign, or something, because of something. It's a very mysterious article. A lot of those insiders say, and my sources have told me, and a lot of unsubstantiated claims of things. He's paying for it. Host Greg Opie Hughes, he's got to go through that his whole life. It's Greg Opie Hughes. Faces the axe at SiriusXM. Insiders tell Radar Online, Radar, an ongoing feud may be the reason he's getting the boot. Ongoing feud with Howard? That's the longest ongoing feud ever. Longtime listeners and disciples of the SiriusXM radio's Greg Opie Hughes and his wildly popular Opie radio program are worried that their favorite host's days are numbered. Sources exclusively told RadarOnline.com. Now, that tells me one person said something which isn't really substantiated. Some insiders believe the radio network will drop the hammer on the controversial host's 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern time. What's controversial about Opie? This isn't, I swear to you, by God, this is not a dig on Opie either. It's actually a fucking compliment. What is controversial about Opie? He's managed to go from shock jock, a successful shock jock, you might remember the O&A show, to a very friendly, guest-oriented interview show. What controversy is Opie bringing up these days? Honestly.
Well, at the end of the article, they brought up the cake thing.
God, how many years ago? And what was that? It was 10 years.
10 years, it says in the article. I thought even more.
My God, man. He's not a controversial radio personality. It's just not it. He's actually managed to do that crossover thing. And I think, to tell you the truth, he's done a pretty good job at not having the baggage of the O&A show that someone like the A guy has. Because the O guy is doing that. The A guy is trailing, like I was just at the airport. You know those carts that trail the luggage for the fucking planes? That's me. That's my baggage. I latched onto every fucking controversial piece of shit I've ever said and never let go. But Opie, he's doing a regular show. He actually has like a black co-host. It's insane. It's a madhouse over there.
And a Hispanic. Right?
And a Hispanic. I don't know what's going on over there. It's like Harlem. He's, so controversial is a little odd of a word to use for Opie these days. Let me see the rest of that piece. The article. All right. Controversial. There are too many ominous signs to ignore, a source said. It's almost like he pissed off the wrong person, and now he's paying for it. Now, by the wrong person, there's one person that you could piss off that has any say over what, or maybe a couple of people. The boss, the big boss, Greenstein, and Howard Stern. That's it. We've said everything about everyone else in that place. Steve Blatter, little fucking jughead-looking cunt. Fuck him. But I said that when I worked there, too, so it didn't really matter. Some insiders. Now there's an insider saying that some insiders, it's like looking into a mirror, behind a mirror. saying an off-air bit Opie put on earlier when he ventured down the Sirius hallway and had an unsuspecting cleaning woman let him inside Howard Stern's studio. Hughes, who later uploaded that bit to YouTube, was inside for 30 seconds before security ushered him out. Howard got wind of that really quick, and he didn't like it one bit. An insider confirmed. And they make it sound like these are different insiders. An insider. They should say the same insider. Also, rumors that comic Nick DiPaolo is coming on to host his own Sirius show from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m., replacing what is now a 3-hour replay of Opie's show. I have not heard anything about that. It's true? How do you know? Insider? Oh. Jim and Sam, where you go for huge news. So our audience member here is saying that Jim and Sam did announce that. Was it done in any way as a joke?
No. They had, in fact, they were nervous. They brought Don in.
Donnie Wicklund.
To ask if they could.
That's interesting because Dandy Donnie Wicklund absolutely would not lie. He's just, I don't know, he's like the cockroach of Sirius XM. Gas has gone off.
They took the replay away.
Yeah, they took Opie's replay away. I know that much. But Nick getting a show, well, good for Nick. Good for Nick. Yeah. And he'll get his office too, which is now just apparently a chair by window. I'm missing it. I'm really missing that place. I know that I was just tossed aside from Sirius XM, and that was bad enough. But I have never seen somebody that put in 10 years over there. More than 10 years, was it, at Sirius? I know at XM it was, I don't even know how much time. It has to be 10 years under Sirius. Over, maybe. I have never seen somebody put in their time somewhere, make money for the company, do well, and just get shit on like this. They are just, it's like Jenga. They just keep pulling fucking pieces out and wondering when the whole thing's going to fall down. It's nuts. I feel kind of lucky that I was tossed out immediately and didn't have to linger over this slow fucking that's going on over there. Here's the rest. Stern, he does have the influence. Yes, we know what Stern makes. Openly feuded, gag order, Anthony Cumia, both at infinity. We know that. Others say, here it is again. I just want to continue to point out the nobody source that is here, regardless if this is true or fake or fucking whatever it is. But this is how the media works. And I know this is only radar, but believe me, other news agencies, same thing. Others say, this could be, you just read Twitter. It could be the recent resurfacing of the infamous cake stomping video from 10 years ago, in which Opie stepped on the cake of a New York City homeless man. That resulted in thousands of negative comments on Reddit. Are you kidding? Thousands of negative comments from 10 people, as well as tweets and news articles that he'd had to address on his show. He didn't have to. He chose to, which seems to be the worst thing you could fucking do. It's unfortunate because Opie's helped build Sirius to what it is today. A friend of the show told Radar they need to shoot straight with him. Signed E-Rock. That's the mysterious source. The source was telling me in between bites of a giant cheeseburger. A little clue right there. Little clue. The source got sidetracked and went on a tangent about The Simpsons, but I reined him back in. Our anonymous source.
He was eating strawberry-flavored peanut M&Ms.
Strawberry-flavored peanut M&M particles were flying out of his mouth as he told me about the latest news at Sirius.
And he was mad it didn't taste strawberry enough.
It wasn't strawberry enough. Holy shit. Sitting calmly in a Futurama shirt, the source uttered between mouthfuls of onion rings. Yeah. Yes. He said, this is a worse catastrophe than that time I didn't get garlic butter saw with my pizza.
He wanted to talk about the elephant in the room and also Opie.
And oh, poor E-Rock. Did they pull? He's not doing a show over there either anymore, right?
I believe he is. He said he was going to San Diego Comic-Con. And I see he puts his shows up on like on demand.
Oh, okay.
But he was tweeting some very vague stuff like, if they don't, I'll take the show elsewhere kind of thing.
Oh, well, E-Rock, come. Come one, come all. We welcome you. Welcome. All are welcome. All are welcome. Step into the light. Come, E-Rock. Come, Opie. Welcome. A few things transpiring over the course of said vacation. Opie gets the boot. Opie, you might remember him from the Opie and Anthony program. I sure do. Yeah. Oh, my God. 3 years ago, around the same time, I got fired from SiriusXM. And then, lo and behold, pretty much within a day, it was, right? It wasn't like a day. 3 years later, he gets the boot, gets fired. There's all kinds of yapping going on about this. Greg Opie Hughes. There it is. God. Oh, he hates that. Fucking hates that. The in quotes Opie Hughes. I hated seeing it in print because it usually meant I was fired. That's usually whenever we made the news, it meant that we got fired. That was it. So, I mean, there was all kinds of shit going on over there after I got the boot. I don't think it's news to anybody that Jimmy and Opie did not get along that swimmingly after I was out. I was always a nice kind of bridge between the two, I think you'd call it. And they had, I think they hung out and communicated off the air more than I did with probably either of them. Maybe not Jim. Opie, I never hung out with Opie. Just never hung out with him. After a while, we, kind of our different lives. And that was that. So when it was Opie and Jimmy, without me there, things got a little crazy. And there were a couple of on-air fights. Like I swear, I was with Opie for 20 years. And it took a long time before we actually had an argument. I think it was 95, let me just see. 96, 97, 98, 99, 2000. Probably 5 years. I would think 5 years before we had our first, argument. And then, we just kept going along. And then there was other ones at XM. And then at Sirius, it really started getting a little grating on each of us, My lifestyle and his were not really conducive, I guess you'd say. He had been up for hours before coming to the show because he had woken up early, I was up for hours before the show because I hadn't been to sleep yet. So it was an odd dynamic. We weren't really on the same wavelength. He took things pretty personally, as did I, over the course of the years. So, it just shit happens. So with him and Jimmy, it was like pretty much instantly there was a problem. There was problems. And that was glaring. People saw it. So they decide to give Jimmy and Sam a morning show and put Opie off into afternoons. How did that happen, by the way? Was that just like Was that just them deciding, hey, this is what we're going to do now? Right? I think so. So it was that, and that caused more resentment and shit. And Opie was, I guess, and I don't know, but this is just my, like I said, I've known him for a long fucking time, known all the players involved for a long time, and I know the business end of this whole thing, so I know how management reacts and everything. So Opie was trying to rebuild a show with himself, and then he had a couple of the guys that he knew come on the show and stuff, comics and whatnot. But who do you have on there? Sherrod,
Vic Henley, and then Carl, the chef,
the chef guy. So he was, building a show, and then I guess he had a problem with Roland. I read something about video in a bathroom. I recall every time someone went in the bathroom, there was a chance that you're going to have your picture taken. Someone was going to kick your ass so you fucked the urinal. I mean, it was like, yeah, there was always something going on. But I don't know. It seemed like tensions were really high over there, really high. So when that happened, Roland apparently went to HR and filed some type of grievance. And with all the other heat that was going on over there, Sirius, again, says, yeah, fuck this. Get rid of him. So that was that. Over 4th of July vacation. They love to boot you 4th of July. So I'm thinking, like, who's left over there? E-Rock. It's fucking E-Rock. E-Rock is like a cockroach, just surviving. I love it. E-Rock was at my 4th of July party. He stopped by, hung out a little bit. We had some chit-chats. It was nice. Good to see him. And then Dr. Steve, I think, is the longest-running show on the channel. Or still that's still on the channel. Who else is over there? Ron Bennington is still over there. Of course, Jimmy and Sam are doing their thing. But the actual Opie and Anthony thing, that was it. Once Opie went, E-Rock just kind of stands there going, what happened? What happened? But it's done. It's done. It's gone. And there was nothing we could do about it. He's gone. What can I tell you? He's gone. I don't know what his plans are. If he wants to say goodbye to the fans or fucking voice his side of anything, of course he's got a seat here, And then we'll see what happens. But as far as right now, I don't know. I texted him a few times, and it was pretty much, hey, enjoy your vacation. Enjoy that extended vacay. Someone didn't have to get up for work this morning. Greg Opie Hughes. That's right. So we'll see what the fuck happens there.
I think he's doing a show live from Carl's restaurant tomorrow.
Is that real?
He keeps saying it. There's a sign out front saying welcome.
That sign looked a little sad. I got to be honest. The sign looked a little sad. Do you got it? Let me see this thing.
I got to find it 1 sec.
Let me see this thing. What the fuck? What the fuck? He's having the sign out the Satriani's fucking book door, you fucking cocksucker. Yeah. Oh, okay. There it is. Look. Welcome, Opie from radio. What is he doing? Come on. That's a joke. And this is where?
Yeah, Carl's right. I don't know. Is it Marie's or something? I kept thinking I saw that name.
But it's in Manhattan?
Jersey, I think he's from.
Jersey?
I'm just guessing. Delhi in New Jersey.
We'll hide the gun behind the toilet. Opie can go in. It's one of those old toilets with the pull chain. Just come out shooting, kid. You're going to be fine. Wow, okay. Well, there you go. We'll figure out where it is, and we'll give it a plug. So if you want to go tomorrow and see what's going on, it's not going to be broadcast anywhere.
Facebook Live.
Facebook Live.
So,
yeah. See, of course. All right. There it is. All right, it's at Marie's Italian Specialties. Is there an address? Oh, jeez. There you go. Shunpike Road in Chatham. Chatham? Chatham? Hey, Chatham up. New Jersey. Marie's Italian Specialties. What was that logo up there? It looks like Guy Fieri, but is that supposed to be him? Oh, it is Guy. Guy ate here.
Well, he was a guy, Carl was.
Right.
Didn't he come in with Guy in the beginning and then
Yes.
he caught on from that?
Remember when Guy squirted vodka into Sam's mouth, much to Sam's chagrin? My God, was that fucking hilarious. What's wrong with him? He's extreme. Yeah, I cook. Woo! We get it. You're extreme. All right, so, yeah, I don't know. I don't have any. I'll talk to Mike over here. Mike, what's up?
Hey, what's up, Anthony?
Hey.
How was your vacation?
Stunning. Just a great time hanging out at the pool with my cat.
I was just wondering, will Compound Media turn into the Opie and Anthony show, or you're not 100% sure?
Oh, I thought I really explained that pretty well. But I got to tell you, Mike, no, there are no plans right now. I have not heard anything of any plans for Opie to come here or anything. But, the door's open for him to come in and talk.
Yeah.
See what
That's
happens.
all. I'm just waiting to see if Opie and you are going to talk on your show.
Yeah,
But
that'd
I
be
wanna
cool,
hear his side
if he could
of
find
what
some
really
time.
happened.
He comes in, we sit and chit-chat. I think that'd be great.
How about, are you going to, what do you think about Roland, copping him out? Do you think he's a piece of shit for doing that?
Everyone has their issues. What am I going to say? Roland, apparently, I haven't been there in 3 years, so I don't know what transpired between Opie and Roland in that time.
What did you think of working with Roland?
With Roland? I always liked Roland. I never had a problem with Roland, but I didn't really interact with Roland all that much. See, Opie would interact with the people more than I would over there. My goal was to leave cartoon character smoke off of my fucking feet when I left that place. Just get in, do the show, get the fuck out. I didn't talk to anyone. I'd say hi to Ronnie B or Fez when he was there in the hallway. Maybe a little chit chat. Club Soda Kenny, how you doing? But I never went to the back office and sat in there and talked with E-Rock or Roland or any of the other people. I never, unless I was called to the boss's office, never even walked down that end of the building where the management had their offices. But Opie was always chit-chatting with them. So, that opens up a whole nother thing. Now you have a relationship with people aside from just how you doing. And I wasn't really, I didn't like that.
At XM before Sirius.
Before I get to the question, I thought it was really hilarious. A few months ago, you could see the writing on the wall for Opie when they took his office away from him and told him, just go do show prep in the hallway.
In the hallway. I saw that picture.
The newspapers.
I saw that, the newspapers and the single chair, and it was by a ledge, by a window, and it just really was not the best thing for Opie. No.
You could tell that. Yeah, he was hanging on by one thread there.
Yeah. That's again, corporate fucking radio. It's not the most fun place you could work if you're in broadcasting. That's for sure.
Yeah. Well, that brings me to the big looming question is, do you want him to do a show with you now that you guys could have like the most purest form of the O&A show without any program directors above you, and do it there on your platform?
Yeah, I've been asked that a lot, especially this past week. And like I said, we haven't even spoken in person in 3 years. We had our issues for quite a while before that. And then you got to figure whether you can just jump back into the Opie and Anthony show again. I think that's impossible. That's it's done. It's over. It's been done. Now, whether he would be able to work here in some capacity doing his show, and then we actually do a show once a week maybe or something like that. Like, this is all stuff people have talked about over the course of the past couple of years even. I don't know. Again, it would have to be discussed. But do I think myself and Opie could sit here and, do the O&A show again? I can't see that happening. We're different people.
It seemed like you guys had such a good rapport on the handful of phone calls you've had since you've made up.
Oh, I'm not saying we probably couldn't do a very entertaining show, but there might be people that would go like, oh, this isn't the O&A show, and it wouldn't be. So, it's kind of hard to try to figure out what it would be, quite frankly. I don't even know what that would be. Two guys that have known each other that long sitting and bullshitting, or would we have wacky bits, or would we be a guest-based show? Like, I couldn't tell you right now what that might even look like, but interesting prospect. Again, because I have the ability to do whatever the fuck I want here, I'm open to anything. Right.
It would be the first time the O&A show would ever be totally under your control and
completely. Well, that would be that right there is a pretty interesting and tempting proposition, that it would be the O&A show without any restrictions on it with bosses or we could literally talk about or say anything we wanted, which is pretty awesome.
It just seems like such a tantalizing possibility.
It is,
reconstituted.
Look, I'm a human being and I'm a businessman, so it's kind of interesting to ponder. We'll see.
All right, well, thanks, man. Thanks for your time. Good talking to you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
I'll just say this about Opie. Opie is a fucking great host. You know what I mean? Like, he didn't know me. You know what I mean? And whenever I went there, people would like. Sometimes I went over there. People would say, him and Jim they're not getting along, but it never showed to me. That's why.
Well, that was a thing that we were able to do over the course of the years, which people thought was the most amazing thing we ever pulled off, was the fact that we were able to turn those fucking mics on and make it seem like we were pals.
Yeah, it was, because even people, like, one week I went in there and somebody said they had a fight. It was last summer. They had a fight right before that. I think it was over the D.L. Hughley thing, not to name names, but there was a D.L. Hughley situation. And I brought my old partner, Lenny.
Hi, Lenny.
I feel like it's a fake name. Remember this Lenny character? But actually, I begged Lenny to come with me because I thought it would be, like, awkward.
Yeah.
But then when we went there, like, Lenny brought it up. He goes, Kevin made me go because you guys have been fighting this week. And Opie goes, we haven't been getting along, him and Norton,
Yeah. Did Norton say anything?
But it was still, I never felt, maybe because I was new to it, but it never felt tense to me. And I just thought that's just a tribute to Opie because he just kind of makes it seem, keeps it kind of loose,
There is a certain element of professional that you need to adhere to when you're on a radio show. And no matter how you feel about the other person in the room, when the mics go on, you got to do a fucking show. If the show is putting that out there, then that's fine. If you want to argue with somebody on the air. But if you plan on doing something else, you're going to have to kind of suck it up. And
but it didn't seem to hurt. The comedy still seemed to work. It wasn't like it was. We were talking about like serious shit, but I just thought he was always really good at it. So, and then even with him getting fired, to me it like helps his street cred.
Real quick, Opie just tweeted you with a little problem he's having.
What?
Right here, John.
Like, I'm not having a problem on fucking Twitter? Is it really him? Or is it a kind of Ant? You cool with E-Rock giving away our shit from our old office on his Twitter? I'd imagine you'd like a few of the celebrity autograph pics. I don't know what I even have. If I haven't missed something for 3 years, like, this is what hoarders do. Like, I don't know what's in there. I haven't gone one day thinking I wish I had or I need something, this. So tweet him back. Say, yeah, give it all away. Give away shit that isn't ours. Give away E-Rock.
How zen of you.
Yeah.
Whatever you don't need, whatever doesn't bring you joy, eliminate it from your life.
I am not. There's one thing I've always hung on to way too much, and only one fucking thing. Electronics, computer electronics. And not even because at the time, they're kind of new.
Right.
But in like a week, they're ancient fucking museum pieces. So you could really get caught up in, all right, I don't want to throw this away.
Yeah.
So you put it in a box and you put it in a closet somewhere. And then before you know it, you got like stacks of fucking old printer serial cables.
I have like 4 old flip phones that have like jokes from my first year of comedy.
There you go.
And I'm like, well, I'll revisit them at some point.
No.
Like, no, never.
No, it's so yeah. But anything else, I'm just like, I don't give a shit. I have a photo album. I got like a lot of pictures online and videos and things like that. But other than that, nothing else is of really any value that you can't, like if you're moving or like an office or something like Opie was talking about, who cares? Just dumpster that fucking shit.
I mean, I guess you could sell them would be the only argument, but
who the fuck, what? Sell an autographed picture of me, Jimmy, Opie, and fucking a guest?
Yeah, I don't know.
Roland.
Any autograph you got, you would have gotten that the day the guy was there and taken it home.
Right, if I gave a shit. Oh, I used to fucking, I'd have to get like a book and be like, could you sign this? Because everyone else has.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, Anthony. And then the people that you really don't care about take so long. They write like a whole fucking thing. It's like, just sign the fucking thing. And then I was leaving and someone would go, Anthony, you forgot your book. I'm like, yeah, I did. And those things end up in the office, I guess. That's what he's talking about, shit like that. But I have a really nice photo album that Angela, Keith's wife, put together for me of all the pictures that were taken in the studio with celebrities over the course of quite a few years. That's awesome. And that's like cool.
Yeah.
Something like that is great. And then my autographed Neil Diamond picture as inspiration for my karaoke nights. It says, to Anthony, keep trying, from Neil Diamond. And I look at that and just fume. I fucking do Neil Diamond like no one's business. Like fucking Neil Diamond. I'm not even going to say better than Neil Diamond because Neil Diamond's good, but I'm good. He's fucking,
And it's better to let him tell a story than,
Just let him go.
Yeah.
All right, I'll let you guys get to Snowy next on the air.
Snowy from Michigan. Snowy. Ugh. Right in the middle of me, Patrice, and fucking Voss having a fucking death match with each other. And Opie go, hold on. Snowy. Did he just take a fucking phone call?
I'm glad that seemed as shitty in the studio as it did to when I was listening.
Oh, it was infuriating. We would just start going, like, what happened?
Because I'd be in the car driving to a gig with another comic, and we'd be like, God damn it, Opie.
Opie, what are you doing? The fuck are you doing?
And we didn't have any animosity. We didn't dislike Opie. We were trying to figure out why he would do that.
Yeah, why he would do that.
Yeah.
I think that parody, listen.
Good, right?
I mean, look, it's good for a 2-day podcast. Not if you're doing more than 2 days. Then you,
right, just a 2-day a week recorded podcast. And then he said something else. Do you have the clip about Colin Quinn?
Oh,
Yeah.
Let's
hear Opie's opinion of Colin Quinn.
All right.
All right.
More Carl. Carl's
Excuse the
crushing
noise. I think they're
Fuck.
doing it through a Mr. Microphone.
He's also on a beach for some reason.
Fucking crushing the podcast.
Carl's crushing it, he said.
Oh, yeah.
To think when I first brought him around, certain people didn't want him on the show.
Okay, could you
Fucking
pause
idiots.
that? When he first brought Carl around, certain people didn't want him on the show. I don't know what that means because, first of all, Roland brought Carl around on the O&A show. He's a friend of Roland's. Roland knew him through the cooking shows and whatnot, the Food Network thing. And he's the one that brought Carl around. And no one had anything bad to say about Carl.
And here's the thing, Carl's a nice guy.
Love Carl.
Carl's a great guy. We went to his restaurant one night. He's kind of like in the middle of whatever, and he's done nothing. You know what I mean? He's done nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like he's Switzerland hanging out with
very neutral. Yeah,
he's Switzerland hanging out with Hiroshima.
Booyah! He's very talented. He's a funny guy.
Yeah, he's good.
And
he's well read. He's smart.
And he is now the guy that has to pick Opie up and carry him around. And it's terrible.
Is he the co-host?
Yeah,
Officially?
by proxy.
Okay.
I don't know what officially is. If officially means getting paid, then no.
Right.
You get a guy
He's also at
that's
Bennigan's.
tossing a salad, not in prison, but as your sidekick.
Right.
Yeah. When you get a sous chef as your sidekick, Bourdain started off in the radio.
Bobby's career ends the same way.
Hey, but Carl is a good guy. But for Opie to say Carl is killing it, what does that mean? Like
it doesn't even mean they could sit around and have a conversation. And Carl's funny. He's a funny guy.
He's a good guy.
Some joke. But you're not just killing it. He's constantly overselling everything.
Yes,
like a used fucking car salesman.
I think when Carl leaves, that's what's going to make Opie heave himself out of his window.
You think so?
No. And well, because I want to go back to Carl's restaurant when I get a night off. Where I'm going to go back. Yeah. It's just that. My stupid wife doesn't eat anything. She's what's the worst? CrossFit and a vegan in the same.
Oh, wow.
That's a double fucking nightmare.
Zero body fat too, right?
Really?
Oh, really? No.
She doesn't do either well. No, she's looking good.
Yeah.
Let's get back to Carl.
Oh, right.
Good man.
Yes. Funny guy.
But I heard
he's carrying Opie now.
Is he now? I don't want to start any rumors because, as I said, I'm a fan. He's killing it. So I am a fan.
Killing it.
Is his marriage in trouble?
I think it's done.
Is it?
Yeah. He's going through some marital issues.
Sad though.
Yeah. And he's we've texted or DM'd and stuff, and he's like, "Oh Christ, this whole divorce thing." I'm like, "Yeah, it's not fun.
It's not easy.
It's
it's going to be bad when he had
You're a good shoulder to lean on. Too.
Oh, I tell it like it is.
It's sad that he's going to lose his restaurant for a 2-day podcast.
Yeah, it's true.
He's gonna go from great chicken parm to spiced ham sandwiches.
And having to share him with the Opster.
I'm going to his restaurant again.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's good. Have you been there?
No, I have not been there.
Oh, it's fucking amazing.
I hear it's very good.
Been to the restaurant because you're not a guest on the show?
Probably, yeah, you have to be a guest on the show. I don't know what.
Isn't it where they record it?
One of the locations.
Okay.
They go all over the place.
Oh, those are pop-ups?
Well, no, they set up equipment that gives you the quality that you just heard there in a microphone.
Could be a beach.
It sounds like you're doing, yeah.
Something like seagulls in the background to say quality.
It's if you ever wanted to do a show from inside a Rolls-Royce jet engine, just ask the Opster how it's done because it sounds like that every podcast.
What the fuck?
It's terrible. So here he just talked about Carl and how, so many people said, rewind that thing because he follows it up with something.
To think when I first brought him around, certain people didn't want him on the show.
Who was that certain
Fucking
people?
idiots. Fucking idiots. They don't realize that I know this shit. Or maybe they do realize it, but they can't take it.
What?
Can't take what that actually means.
What does it mean?
Whatever. Get Colin Quinn on. Why? What What is he going to add to my podcast?
Genius
I'm
comedy.
not going for the same old, same old. If you haven't figured that out. Ian Halpern, I'd get him on, though.
What?
Is he kidding or is he really tripping?
No, he's
Colin?
look.
Colin is a genius.
I sat next to that motherfucker for 20 goddamn years, and I know when he's kidding or being sarcastic because he's incapable of doing it. He doesn't know how to really be sarcastic or anything.
Wait. So you don't think you guys are getting back together?
Well, I don't know. Well, the hours.
So what? So go ahead.
Is he coming in 2 days a week?
Yeah, 2 days a week, I think. Those are the days I won't be here. So he absolutely meant that. Here's what it is.
Why would he go after Colin, the best?
Let me
He was
tell
one
you
of the
something.
best guests ever on the show.
I'll let you know why. And it has nothing to really do with Colin. He wants his podcast to be like, oh, Colin, because Colin does other people's shows. And it's like, oh, no, I won't be that show. Like, that's what he means by the same old, same old.
Yeah.
Like, what? Anyone that's on any other podcast, I don't want them. I do my own thing, man. Fuck you. Ugh, what a douche.
We got a new podcast. It's called My Wife Hates Me and We Both Hate Opie.
Oh, that's a good, yeah. Well, you're going to have to fight me for the title.
I was good friends with him and just out of nowhere.
I know.
How does that, I mean,
It happens with everybody, by the way.
But he's always taking credit for everybody that's been on the show. Even when you were fired, it was entirely his idea to have Jim. He introduced you to Jim. Everything has always been his idea.
Everything is Opie did it. Opie's the best. Opie's great. He tweeted something. I've been even after a couple of cocktails, I have been ready to tweet a response to some of his tweets. And right at the end, I'm just like, nah, I won't do it.
Kind of like punching down.
Yes, and that's what it is. He tweeted about the shit that's going on the border with the kids being put in the little detention center hotels that they're in, whatever you want to call it. So he tweeted about that, and he goes, it's just about being nice and treating people nice and humanely, and I was this close to tweeting, oh, you should have done that with your fucking staff. How about treating them like human beings? Now he's Mr. Fucking, he's gone that route where he thinks if he's liberal, that like he's going to get mainstream acceptance. You see what Stern did with America's Got Talent, and he got that Marcy Turk in there, that they wiped out all Gilbert Gottfried, not allowed on anymore. They cut out Artie Lang's pieces because her Stern thought I could actually be a legitimate Hollywood player now. I could hang out with the people I used to goof on. And I think Opie has done nothing but try to emulate Stern every step of his career. And I'm not talking about the show ripping off Stern.
Or the comedy.
But just, yeah. But I mean, like, the way he wants to be Stern, in that he wants to, like, have the house, the wife, the kids, and that life that Howard has.
A string of Peloponnese.
Peloponnese. Oh, Rachel, you've come back. And it didn't happen for him. He was always, we were always the second show. It was, and we worked at the same company so many times, so many years with Howard, and Howard was always the number, and rightly so. The goddamn guy was in the business for so much longer. He actually did revolutionize radio. I was fucking content with sitting back, making a great fucking paycheck, and doing our show. It was different than Howard's. I didn't think we were ripping Howard off like some people would say, but he had this obsession, this hatred for Howard Stern that I don't know where the fuck it came from.
Oh, well, didn't Howard have you guys thrown out of a press conference?
Oh, yeah, but we were pricks. I would have had us thrown out of a fucking press conference.
See, here's what here's my theory, and I could be wrong. He knew in September when his contract was up, he was most likely out.
Most likely gone.
Right? I'll get that later. So So he said, you know what can I do to get, like, when he walked into Stern's fucking studio, he knows he's not dumb. Nothing good is going to come out of that.
That was the beginning of the end.
Subconsciously, he's thinking, well, I do this, maybe it'll blow me out, and I could say, oh, they fired me for trying to be fucking funny and edgy.
Yeah.
But knowing, hey, I'm getting, look, when a girl's kicking you out, you want to be the one to go, oh, fuck, I'm leaving.
Right.
But you're really getting kicked the fuck
You're
out.
getting kicked out.
All
You're the one getting kicked
You know,
out.
Pryor said, the girl said, if you had 2 more inches of dick, you find some new pussy here. Right? It was such a great line. He goes, I'm going to find some new pussy. So then he does this thing with Roland. Videotapes. First of all, that's a criminal offense to film someone in a bathroom.
Yeah, absolutely. It's an invasion of privacy.
Oh, in the last bit he did at the that was a shit.
He blames Roland for getting him fired.
Right.
Roland didn't rat him out.
No.
They heard it because it was played.
Of course.
Roland's not. He didn't rat him out.
No, but Opie can't take responsibility for anything that ever happens to him.
You know,
it's someone else's fault.
I don't know. I'm not a lawyer. Okay, I'm a juvenile. I don't know. And
he must be a doctor.
This is or a landlord, or a Nobel Peace Prize winner, or Nobel Peace Prize, or
I'm a Nobel Peace Prize winner.
Okay, or maybe somebody who invented more fucking medicine. Anyhow, the Jews. Okay, more per percentage of people won more Nobel Prizes in medicine than whatever. You know, when you're laying on a hospital, when you're laying on a fucking hospital bed ready to have heart surgery, you better pray a Star of David's hanging in your face.
Yeah.
Okay.
You want to hear Stein or Bird?
Yes.
You want to feel good?
Yeah, as if you're in court too. His last name better end in fucking Steen.
Yeah.
So
if you see black hands, you're not waking up.
You see black hands, that means your wallet's gone. You have a watch? No.
You realize there's many scars where your organs have been taken?
Wait, but so you would think, and I don't know, I'm asking you, if you film someone in the bathroom, can't they bring a lawsuit against you?
Absolutely.
Now, not only that, and when that person is overweight, when that person is, he's Latin or Mexican, right?
Yeah.
So there's
some Hispanic.
There's 2 special interest groups right there.
Ready to get you.
Ready to get
you. You got fat shaming up. Yeah.
You know.
No, he does it like in 2016, whenever it was, 17. With the climate the way it is, the environment of Me Too and all this shit that's going on, you can't argue for your job when you filmed a man in the bathroom. It's such an invasion of privacy.
Taking a dump, not peeing.
Right. Yeah.
But to add to your point, the real issue is Sirius and XM can get fucking sued up the ass.
Yes.
Not him.
Well,
You know
both.
what I mean? Yeah, both can. But I mean, but Sirius XM, they're going to pay real money if he decided to bring a lawsuit on.
They could sue Sirius. Yeah.
Sue the shit out of him.
Fostered an environment of harassment.
Yep.
He should be thanking Roland instead of blaming him.
Exactly, but it's Opie. He blames everybody. The guy literally, everyone you hear on his show, Vic Henley, who I like, I'm not a huge fan or anything. I don't know him that well, but
he's a nice guy.
Enough guy.
He's a good guy.
Right, Sherrod. I'm doing Race Wars tonight with Sherrod. I like.
Oh,
Sherrod.
how'd you get that?
I don't know. My agent. Right after I auditioned for a Palmolive liquid hand lotion.
Fucking Mr.
All the biggies.
Fucking Kincaid does a lot for you, man.
Ruben Kincaid.
Yeah. So,
but Sherrod's a great guy. I hang out. I always laugh when he's around.
It's fun. He's a good guy.
Yeah, good guy.
Vic's
and
a good guy,
everyone else, and Carl, but everyone else doesn't like him anymore. Doesn't like Opie. Like he's alienated every single person from interns all the way up to comics.
I think Colin was neutral till today.
Right, I think so.
I was going to say,
him.
Could you pick a more neutral guy who really just exists? You know what I mean? Like, why would you
the guy
pick
you're
him?
going to draw your line in the sand?
I don't understand that at all. Like, brilliant comic, guy who's been cool to both of you. Let's go after him.
And why not just say, out of any, if you had to, just say, oh, Colin Quinn, I would love to have Colin on.
He's great.
You could fucking then go, yeah, fuck him. I would never have my, whatever. But how about,
After all the good radio,
all the good radio.
Colin has, and when he even called, you know how hard it is to call in and be good.
His phoners
Even
were
when he called in, he was great.
Yeah.
He fucking, listen, I don't like Colin as a person. No one does. But he's great. He's a great He was a great guest when we used to trash everybody's videos or roast.
Oh, it was
how fucking
have Colin there when we were picking apart someone's early career work and shit. Fantastic.
He said to Bobby, I've said this many times. He looked at Bobby and said, "You look like a last-minute gift at the Beijing airport." It's one of the best lines in history.
He said I look like a back alley Tunisian knife fighter. Where do you fucking come up with that? Unless you're brilliant. I mean,
why would I want him back on my fucking my maybe he was just embarrassed that he didn't want to bring Colin to an old garage to do a podcast.
Wherever it's going to be that day. I love how he spelt it out when he first got this. It's like, Westwood One, I'm going to be doing a show there. And he goes, they offered me this big studio and everything. I said, no, man, I'm going to do it my way. We're going to cart around a fucking hand truck with a box on it.
Yeah.
With Mr. Microphone speakers.
Why is your way the way that everybody who's not a professional does a podcast?
Right. That's it.
It's really interesting.
A kid doing a fucking Twitch of playing Minecraft has better quality than the Opster has on his. It's terrible.
And to tell you the truth, what I feel bad about really is my wife was good friends with his wife.
I know, yes.
She's the sweetest, and she's very funny.
Yeah.
She really is very funny.
I've never had any issues
the
with
nicest
family or anything.
The nicest. There's no reason my wife and her shouldn't be friends, but it's hard because, she's got to stick up for her husband.
Of course. Look,
you have to.
Fucking anyone in the family. I get along with members of Opie's direct family, his brothers, that he doesn't even get along with anymore. Like I talk and social media, DM, text, so a couple of his brothers that he just like they even have a problem with. He's got issues, man. Look, we all know this. I'm not sitting here from the fucking pulpit of perfection. Oh, good show name. The Pulpit of Perfection. Copyright that. It's going to be the new, the latest show from.
Wasn't his mom bipolar though, and he had some issues there?
One show, the Anthony Cumia show.
Hey, look who dropped in.
Oh man,
Ira.
Somebody's blood pressure medicine just kicked in.
I feel good because my fucking slur doesn't sound as bad after listening to fucking clattering teeth over there.
You could drink fire water from an Indian you found in your slur once.
I'm a friend of your show.
Ira's Ira has a historical footnote. He was the first Nazi propaganda poster they made.
True.
I tried.
He was the first one.
That's my fucking middle name is Ira.
Is it?
My middle name, Ira.
Really? Rich Ira Voss?
Yeah, that's how it would go if it's a middle name.
Right. Okay. I couldn't figure that out. I hit it right the
Voss
first
Ira, you fucking idiot. No wonder Opie left you.
Thank God. I'm funny.
And the party after it was pretty good. All the food and cake and shit.
Yeah. It was fucking great.
It was a fun night.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming,
Really?
too.
Oh, please.
I invited everybody. One person didn't show up.
Oh, God. Oh, this was hilarious because after the roast and everything, I guess the next day somebody phoned in and asked Opie why he wasn't there. And he goes, a lot of problems in that room. No, there wasn't. You weren't there. There were no problems in that fucking room.
Why doesn't he just?
So Kenny was there. Fucking
Sam was there.
Yeah, the audience was fucking fun.
The audience was tons of comics.
Walking around and talking to people before the show was great. A lot of problems.
If you can get comics to laugh like that, it's not fucking easy.
No, but like I said, it's genuinely funny.
Why does he pussyfoot around everything like that? Why doesn't he just say what he doesn't like about you or about other people? That's what I don't get, though.
Walking on Greg shells.
It's hilarious.
You had to watch. Everyone tiptoed around this guy because he had an element of power.
Yeah, of course.
It's the Opie and Anthony show, popular show, and people wanted to get on it.
Mention that other guy's name.
Yeah,
What's up?
Mention that.
Yeah, and then the other one, of course, Opie. Opie, he does a podcast there on Westwood One now.
They gave him a deal?
They gave him something. I don't know what they gave him. They I guess they decided to let him broadcast his podcast on their digital platform. I can't imagine they're paying him anything. I don't know what they would gain by it. Like, it's not... He doesn't have any sponsors on his channel. There's no commercials, so you're not making money that way. How is Opie making money for Westwood One? They don't just do it on a whim, saying, oh, he's a nice enough fella.
Well, he said they did want to give him a pretty lucrative deal.
Yeah.
I mean, they hunted him down and...
Hunted him down. They were going to give him a giant studio, but he said, no, I'd rather just do it from a bar or the street.
I've never even met this man.
It's fucking ridiculous.
Everyone that's been on Westwood One, Podcast One, as far as their podcast platform.
Yeah.
I mean, when we first started this whole thing 4 years ago, they came to us and the Ghoul was like, absolutely not, and this and that. And then talking to people that were on there, nobody makes any money.
No one makes money.
No.
That's like what it's known for. I think, and I'm not sure, but I would believe this is what they do. You go on there. If you can get someone to advertise,
right,
you probably keep a percentage of it in a split with Westwood One. And they probably have a sales team, because I know somebody over there that knows one of the salespeople. So if a show's doing good, they use their sales team and stuff. But then if you could sell your own spots, you could do that. And then you divvy it up with them. So is he on a commission deal with spots? Or is he out at night knocking on doors?
Of course, yeah.
Do I have a show for you? You could sell your ladles on my, just walking around trying to get...
I mean, he's in restaurants and hotels.
That is true. He is broadcasting.
They would sponsor.
Think the fucking restaurant you're in would sponsor it and say, all right, I'll throw you a few bucks.
Yeah, you'd assume.
Yeah, maybe they give him free beer.
They could.
The beers and the food. Maybe that's it, but that's hard to split with Westwood. All right, I brought you 5 beers.
3 ribs.
A steak.
Want 1 rib?
How much for a rib?
I just want 1 rib.
And then I don't know how you claim that.
West Rib 1.
Yeah. So I don't know what that's all about, but I've heard parts of a couple of his shows. For the most part, I listen to a show about his show. Who are these podcasts?
Yes.
Who are these podcasts? They do a show about shows. The last one they did was Stuttering John. It was fucking hilarious. Oh, was that funny?
I have to listen to that one.
It is so goddamn funny. It's Stuttering John going through, and they just pick it apart. Yeah, there they are. They just pick it apart, and it's hilariously funny. Like, John is talking about how talented he is on his own podcast. He's like, because Artie had always said if he wasn't on Stern's show, he'd, to this day, be pumping gas somewhere in Massapequa.
Right.
Long Island. So John has to, like, months later, get on and address this. So he goes, Artie, I would have been something. I was talented. He goes, in the 2nd grade, I was in a play, and I got an A. Do you know, in middle school, and he runs through this shit that everyone did back then. It's no bearing on how talented you are now. Whether you were in or wrote, he wrote a skit, he said, in the 4th grade.
Yeah.
And it got an A, and it's like, yeah, everyone did.
It's if you're in art class when you're in 2nd grade and you get anything but an A, either get an A or they call your family because you drew pictures killing
it
your
doesn't
parents.
mean you're the next Da Vinci.
Right.
You did what you were supposed to do.
Right.
And they gave you an A. He's using it as a resume, and then he's talking about the old Stern days and things. And the guys, whenever they play the clip of John talking about shit he did years ago,
right,
they just kept hitting Glory Days, dun, 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 the Bruce song Glory Days. And they just kept doing it, and it got funnier every goddamn time. It's hilarious. The show's hilarious. So that's like the only way I listen to Opie, because at the end of that show, they already destroyed Opie in a previous episode, which I thought was great. But at the end of this one, they're doing a new feature where every single one of these they do, at the very end, they'll do an update on Opie.
Really? Yeah, that's amazing.
So they did, and it was, again, hilariously funny, right on the money. They hit it. Like, anyone can just take... You can take random clips from a show and make someone sound like an idiot or make the show not sound funny.
Right.
Or make it sound, like, manipulate it a bit.
Sure.
But these guys, they take honest-to-goodness clips and break them down. Like, why did they even talk about this? Or here's where you'll notice a lot of Opie's insecurity in this clip.
Right.
So it's not just like, they suck. Like, it's really well thought out and well done.
Yeah, it's not just typical troll bullshit.
Yeah,
It's just
yeah.
a
They're not
funny-
just trolling, saying it
Yeah.
sucks because they have a problem with him or anything. But so Opie's last podcast, all of a sudden I start getting shit on Twitter. It's like, oh, man, you better talk about Opie's podcast on the show. And I'm like, well, what did he do? Talk about, what craft beer to drink with a tenderloin? Because he's got Carl Ruiz, the chef, on, and most of the shows are about food now. They just talk about, like a comic will be talking, you get like, what's his name? Vic.
Let's take a call. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Oh, boy. I just had a flashback. Just like I was in the Nam
I
again.
just had to completely jump in the middle there
That was it, though.
to see what happened.
So Vic Henley will be like, I was on the road. Last week I was in a city. And then you'll just hear Ope go, this chicken's fantastic. And Vic's like, oh, yeah. And then Opie's like, Carl, what is it? Well, it's marinated chicken, Opie, with the, honestly, who gives a shit? Who gives a shit about what they're
Who
eating?
goes crazy about chicken?
I don't know. It's pretty much the most common thing that people
It
eat.
really is, and I like chicken. I like fried chicken because I'm,
Delicious, right?
Right, it's amazing. But
If I had some and I was eating it right now and you were telling a story, I would never just go,
right,
it's chicken, Dave.
it's just fucking chicken.
It's just chicken. Sometimes it's better than others,
Yes,
but it's chicken.
Of all the things you're going to even have some orgasm about, though, in the middle of
Right.
somebody's story,
Do you know the
picks
daily
chicken.
holocaust going on in this country?
Oh, my God.
Okay.
Well,
You know how many chickens are killed in this country on a daily basis?
KFC doesn't even make them with beaks and eyes. They're just these sort of born things made to kill. They're not even real chickens.
Do you know if chicken farmers decided to say fuck you and just let all their chickens go, first of all, we'd starve to death.
Yeah.
'Cause everyone has chicken. And then we'd be overrun by chickens.
Oh, there'd be chickens everywhere.
Everywhere. Running down fucking Broadway. Goddamn chickens.
We'd be hunting chickens.
Chicken hunting. We'd have to cull the chicken herd.
Is everybody
You're
running
a
around,
stampede of chickens.
running around with old cartoon muskets,
Yeah.
shooting chickens?
Ooh, I gotta get me that chicken. It'd just be insane.
Chickens are tricking us.
But I digress.
Chickens are dressing up like women, and
Yeah, we'd have to live with them in society.
the Warner Brothers cartoons where Bugs Bunny would put on a lady wig.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, Elmer would want to
Sexy. He'd want to have sex with
a
him
rabbit.
because he's a rabbit in women's clothing. That's a pretty convincing outfit if you could dress a rabbit up.
It is, and
And the guy goes, wow,
Wowee.
that is a sexy girl right
Completely confused. Yeah,
Yeah.
really, it would just go. He would just go into his rabbit hole and come out as the
there. As
lady,
the lady.
which is like the same now as if a guy went into
Oh,
a bathroom for 2 seconds and came out as a lady, and you were
As
like,
a lady.
"Wowee."
You wouldn't even know. And then you
Didn't know that hot chick
never
was in
noticed
there.
the woman goes to the bathroom and there's tiny pellets in the toilet. Like, things should be a dead giveaway if your woman is actually a rabbit dressed like a woman. They smell like piss.
Yeah,
And
they frighten easy.
there's mites in their ears. They frighten you.
My dogs are eating their babies.
Yeah, something like that. But apparently it works in cartoons.
Anyway, sorry, I
yeah.
didn't mean to interrupt with such
Oh
stupid
no,
shit.
please! I adore it. So Opie did this podcast, the last one, and someone said I have to, listen to it. A few people, and I did, and it was Opie actually trying to open up. Now his shows have consistently been about nothing, and I don't mean in that nice, fun Seinfeld way.
Right.
I mean nothing. Like, you tune in, and there's no preparation. It's just hey, we're in a bar and Carl's here and Vic's here. Dude, look at this. Check that out. Whoa, we get a beer. Hey, the waitress. Whoa, this is crazy. No, it's not really crazy. It's just nothing.
It's you in a restaurant.
It's you in a restaurant. You really got to punch it up a little. John Moses is in with us today.
Guys, how are you?
John.
Hello, John.
Thank you.
How you doing? You know each other?
See you again.
We do, yes.
Yeah, good.
We met on this show.
Yeah, I was here when Dave was filling in for Artie.
Sabbatical, the Artie Lang sabbatical.
Yeah, that whole little toss-up.
We were just talking with many distractions about Opie. Greg Opie Hughes, my former on-air partner that now does a podcast on Westwood One. And he's got Carl Ruiz, the chef. He's on there a lot. Thank God for him as far as Opie's concerned, because he totally carries the show. They might as well just call him Antha Jimmy. Just call him Antha Jimmy. He carries the fucking show. So he's doing that. And then Vic Henley shows up every so often. Sherrod shows up. I just did Sherrod's show, Race Wars, the other night. Fucking great time. I love Sherrod.
Oh, yeah.
Sherrod's a good guy.
It's a good show.
And then... so he did the show, the latest show, and he opens up and addresses some of the criticism that people have had of him over the years and of late, and me and Jimmy and Roland, who was the booker on the show, who Opie insists got him fired. Here's how Roland got Opie fired. And he says this on the show. He's like, yeah, and fucking Roland, who got me fired. As he's discussing how therapy has helped him actually accept that he has done some bad things and made him a better person, he comes out with Roland got him fired. Here's how he got fired. Roland got him fired. Roland went to the boss and said, I don't really enjoy this man, Greg Opie Hughes, videotaping me in the bathroom while I take a shit.
Oh.
So he got him fired. I get it.
I was jokingly going to say, what is it, a Me Too story? But it is.
It is. It really is a Me Too.
Opie had a panic button installed on his desk, and I would go in, and he'd make me shit.
Not leaving, Roland.
Imagine if you say Chuck Berry, and that's followed by Me Too.
Me Too, Chuck Berry. Yes, very fecal. He
loved his shit.
He did like a good dump.
Yes, he did. That was his best part of his restaurants, was he could get women to shit in the bathroom so he could get Chuck Berry jerk material.
And
it's your cousin Marvin. Cameras in the bathroom.
You know those fetish videos you looking for?
I think I found it. You can take these tiny cams and make a Duke video.
Well, listen to this.
I think I got that porno you were looking for.
So he insists, that Roland got him fired. But then he opens up. He says he said that myself and Jim Norton were awful to work with. We were awful to work with.
Is it because you were the entertaining section of the show?
Yeah.
Maybe the recording cut out. It was awfully funny to work with.
Yeah.
But it just came out as awful to work with.
Awfully hard to keep up with.
Right. Things like that. It could be.
Yeah, well, when you're the fifth guy on the Lakers and Kobe's not throwing you the ball, this guy, we're going to pass?
And that guy's doing pretty well, but imagine the water boy.
Oh, yeah. He's really feeling it. So he said awful to work with. And I retorted on Twitter earlier. That's like, oh, that's strange. Which I really didn't think it was strange. I was being sarcastic.
Right.
That's strange because me, Jimmy, not only are we both still good friends, but we are still really good friends, and we work constantly with people that were on the show, guests. I'm friendly with every person that still works behind the scenes. We go to each other's parties. They come here, appear on the show. And comedians, all the comics from the show. I still go to events and some of their shows and have a great time. Other shows on the network, the people from Ron and Fez. And
well, a lot of people followed Hitler. That doesn't mean that he was right.
You know what? you bring up a good point as the devil's advocate. Yeah!
True.
Devil's advocate.
But he was.
Yeah. I'm a fan of man. Yeah.
Oh, speaking of devil's advocate,
Final fight.
how fucking sick were you when Charlize Theron admitted to fucking the devil in that movie?
Oh yeah.
I was like, even though he manipulated, I was still like, you fucking dirty bitch. Like I was still blaming her.
Oh, I'm blaming her. She's all cut up in the church.
Does she have some, like, stillborn demon or something right after that?
He was there. He was there. I was with him all day. No. Ah!
You still could have said no.
God. Been cut up. That's a hell of a shot.
Oh yeah.
Is this sweet Southern belle who's just going crazy the whole movie and ripping her hair?
Oh yeah.
Well, he doesn't give a fuck.
Oh yeah.
Career.
I love. She plays nuts great because at one point she just goes, you hear that? You hear that? And there's nothing going on. She's Danny Ross fucking crazy.
She grew up in Africa during apartheid, so I think,
South Africa.
Yeah, she's probably channeling some shit when she goes into those roles.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Where they used to go to a fallout shelter they had.
Yeah.
Lock the doors, sweetie. Here they come.
You hear that? Yeah, it's like, you hear that? And they're like, her parents like, it's nothing. It's nothing.
Yeah.
The whales of the population. It's nothing.
Yeah. Did you hear the screaming? Yeah. You can use it for method acting later in your life.
Yeah, this will all help in the career that you've chosen.
Yeah. And she's also hot enough that you would put up with that shit for a little bit until you fucked her.
Oh yeah. You know? Put up with it.
You hear that? You're like, I don't hear anything. Just have another drink.
Yeah. What are you talking about? Have a.
Oh my God, I'd put up with it the whole time.
Yeah, you'd never not put up with it.
I think Satan's chasing me. I'm like, oh, well, if I fuck you, maybe he'll stop.
I got a cure for that.
Prenup for what?
So Greg Opie Hughes, he talked about that, and then he talked about me and Jimmy. We still have relationships with all of these people. Opie, on the other hand, not one person from our old show can stand the guy. So, like, if we're the ones that are awful to work with, I know in especially in this business, working with other people isn't always the easiest thing. You know, you might butt heads every so often or have a difference of opinion or whatever it is. But, like, it's not this just asshole moves that he used to do. Snapping at interns, one of my favorites ever. Hey. Intern's like, what? Out of your fucking mind?
Yeah, you can't do that to a fucking waiter. When people do that to a waiter, I'm like, I'll break your fingers.
I get embarrassed. Yeah, you're like, what are you doing? Like, he would do that. He was at such, he felt he was at such a level that he could just treat everyone beneath him like shit. And when all the comics were in.
Can't wait to be there.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's a great place. But when all the comics were in and fucking Patrice and Voss and Colin and fucking Bobby, it was just constant back and forth, like shitting on people, trying to get the upper hand, get the shit off of you onto someone else. And Opie had nothing, could never fucking hang in that situation. So the only thing he had was the ability to fuck over somebody. Like, oh, I'm going to make Rich Voss wait in the hallway so he could watch us doing nothing in particular for a half hour.
Right.
Like, just to be like, well, I can't go with him when he's in here, so I'll just let him sit out there.
This will be my power trip.
I power over, and he did that with everybody he ever worked with.
Well, that's why nobody wants to go.
No one wants to fucking hang out with him.
Well, and the way you treat people beneath you is actually a huge sign of character.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like to do that to people in front of you, that's fucked up, man.
His ex-girlfriend,
he was like that.
His ex-girlfriend, Sandy, has a brother, Rick, that I still hang out with and have a working relationship
Is like
with.
a restaurant? That
no,
guy?
Rick, no, not that guy.
Okay.
A different guy.
Okay.
But he's fucking great. He can't stand him. We're friends. It's just he has an inability to take any responsibility for anything he's done. So, you know, he'll try to say he's been in therapy for 10 years. He just said this on his show. I'm not telling tales out of school here. He said that he's been in therapy for 10 years because of the problems his mom had. His mom is batshit, just fucking batshit nuts. And he was so scared of becoming his mom that he became his mom. It's the weirdest fucking thing. So he started exhibiting these weird psychoses like his mother. So he figures he'd go to a therapist. What therapist does he go to? his mom's therapist.
Oh, no.
You don't go to your mother's fucking therapist. That's a...
So besides his screaming Oedipus complex, what else did
No shit.
What else did they find wrong? Like, what was his mom bipolar?
Yeah, she was everything.
Oh,
OCD,
depressed,
bipolar.
I grew up with all that.
Oh,
but
he grew
yeah,
up with
that's
all of it.
Does what about the dick? He still got it? Did he go full mom or?
Yeah. I think he tucks.
I didn't know what the question was at first. Is he still liking some dick on occasion? It's the dick.
But he opened up
really
about
becoming
all
my
this to try to make it sound like he's well.
Mm-hmm.
So he's talking.
But he's well.
I'm well. He's talking to Carl on this latest podcast.
Oh, man.
And again, I'm noticing what he does. Now, I have been doing a program for quite a while, whether it was with Opie, with the 8 months I spent with Artie Lang. Our 8 months.
Was it a full 8 months?
It was a full. Well, if you just add in the time he was here.
Yeah.
Like a month and a half.
Right. Yeah. A lot of injury reserve time.
The wonderful Dave Landau. These are what you do is you have a conversation.
Yeah.
That's what you do. Like, oh, I have something in common with that, or I agree, or I disagree with that, and you have a little whatever it is until 2 hours is up, and then you fucking hop on the train, go home, and play video games.
Right.
That's what I do. Well, whenever I listen to Carl
Fucking
and
Neverland.
Opie, they're talking at each other, not to each other.
Yeah.
And like this latest example is picture perfect because Opie's finally actually saying something interesting. He's actually talking about himself openly, as open as he can be. And it's interesting. And then Carl jumps in with something like he wasn't even listening to Opie. And,
Really?
and then he'll say something, and then Opie will go, well, where was I? And then go back to what he...
Yeah.
There's no continuity between the two of them having a genuine conversation.
I think you have to be in some level of entertainment to do this, though. Like, you were into music before you ended up
Right.
going into radio.
Yes.
Like, all that. You have to be in. I was in stand-up, you know? Like,
Yes.
it's just kind of like this guy's. He's a fry cook. I mean, he's a chef.
Now imagine you
This doesn't
just
make any
imagine
sense.
that
You
you
just say
just
some level of narcissism. I was like, oh yeah.
Oh no, you do have to have some level of narcissism to do. Like, to think people want to listen to you.
Yeah.
But a fucking fry cook? Like, if I'm putting together a show.
I cook. I'm a sous chef.
Yeah, that's whatever he is. I don't know what the fuck he does.
Imagine
I
you
don't want to
just say
downplay
this.
him. I'm sure he's an
You just
excellent chef.
You just said what you said, and then I come in right after that and go, so I got my brakes changed today.
Yeah.
But my mom lives in my head still.
The shoes on the old drum brakes.
Yeah.
I just got to get a car with disc.
My mom only had two moods, love and hate.
And then the guy wants to charge me like $350 per wheel.
My dad never talked to her or me because of her screaming. I barely knew him either.
And it's like, cut. You guys are fucking working off the wrong scripts.
Yeah, that's what it's like. That's what it's like.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have Platoon. He's got fucking Hotel for Pets.
Right now.
Yeah, it was just. So I'm listening to it, I'm like,
Platoon.
this could be, and I understand, like, it's just what you just said. Carl is a chef. He's been on food TV, on the Food Network and stuff, and he's good. He's an entertaining guy. But you have to have a rapport with somebody in some way, shape, or form, or be so good in what you've done in the past at that point, like music or stand-up or anything, to know that it's a give and take kind of a thing.
Right.
He's just looking to put a joke in somewhere, which is fine if you're not talking about, your mom. Like, I don't know. It just could have been a better conversation.
But your only experience shouldn't be like the interviewee. You know what I mean? Like, there
Yeah.
should be more that you've done than just answer questions like, well, this is a salmon in pecan sauce. It doesn't really train you.
So how is this prepared? Well.
Yeah, everything refers back to a recipe. You have no life experience to fucking kick it on,
So, Opie, you're saying your mom and you were like water and vinegar, which, if mixed together properly with some oil, will make an emulsion that will stick to some vegetation.
That's right. That's right.
It's like avocados all over a brownie.
Right,
You
yeah.
just didn't want her?
What were we talking about?
I don't understand.
I don't know.
Yeah.
So he just goes off on that. It was
pretty interesting, like I said, but conversationally, it was all busted up. So I kind of went through the thing just listening to Opie's talking about his therapist and how, me and Jimmy and everybody, he was like, I got everyone their job and I saved their jobs. And I did. He talks about Roland. He goes, Roland was brought in. I got him the job and they weren't going to hire him because he had lied on his resume when he gave it to Sirius XM. But I said, no, it's not that big a deal. You give him the job. Opie has a story about how he saved or got everyone's fucking job in the place. And you would think there'd be some
loyalty.
Right.
Right.
Some loyalty.
Right.
So who hasn't lied on a resume? Just
everyone
in fairness,
lies on a fucking resume.
You have
exaggeration.
It's
enough
called exaggerating.
Enough exaggeration to have plausible deniability. That's the whole point of a resume.
Something like that.
Yeah.
I want to know more about the camera and filming him shitting because to me that's a hilarious road gig, but it only goes once. Like you can only bust in on your buddy taking a shit and like with the phone one time before it's like after you do it multiple times it becomes.
Well, here's the thing too. He's shit on, no pun, but he's shit on Roland so many times before that, and they were already on the outs.
Oh yeah.
But Opie never realizes when somebody's pissed at him or really fucking just has had it with him for years. So when he recorded him in the bathroom, he's thinking it's like, hey, it's my bro. We're just fucking around. And Roland's like, oh, you fucked up this time. I'm going right to management. And you're fired.
And exactly. That'd be a hilarious thing to do to a friend. It's like, buddy.
I was gonna say,
a friend would go, oh, you dick.
Exactly. But if it's somebody you're kind of like icy with,
what are you doing?
It's a fucking fist fight, man.
Oh yeah. I was gonna say, like, as comics, we're gonna look at it in a different way. We're gonna be like, we're gonna have no standard of decency. Honestly, we really don't we're both drunk, so we're like whatever. But when you look at it, it's like this is an office.
Yeah,
this is a 9 to 5 job.
It's within the past couple of years, so it's in this new day and age.
Right.
Hashtag fucking don't film me shitting.
Yeah, right.
And it's in a corporate environment like Sirius XM where they're not gonna sit with you and go, well, what was it, a joke?
Right.
They're gonna go, oh, some guy filmed another guy in the toilet? Yeah, get the fuck rid of him.
Dude, I don't
hire him immediately.
How does this play out in court?
Yeah, that's what they think.
I don't say fuck at a corporate show, let alone
No.
videos.
You don't go into the bathroom with the CEO. Hey, how was you think my gig was funny?
Even going into like my friends' offices or even my wife's, like it's like a museum for me where I'm like, all right, just don't touch shit.
That's a good way to put it.
It's very easy to get confused when you're in here. This is literally the Bat Cave.
Exactly.
Like this is not like the rest of the world out there.
This isn't even like. In fact, if somebody walked in on somebody filming somebody taking a shit in this building, like I could be filming you going, and then somebody else walks in from like their job down the hall working for a fucking tax firm, and they'd be like,
what the fuck? He could tape someone shitting. When Gavin was here, you could record someone shitting here. You wouldn't even have to go to the bathroom.
Well,
it was that fucking nuts. Like, but out there in the real world, in a corporate environment, you are done. They don't want to hear an excuse anymore.
My job is if somebody in the crowd gets too rowdy or unruly, I'm allowed to hurt them with my words in a way that is completely unacceptable.
With my
it would be met with violence 80% of the time anywhere else.
Met with job loss.
Oh yeah, some
higher percentage if you're Nick DiPaolo, by the way.
Apparently.
Punch in the face.
Only if you don't even say anything bad to him, you just get punched if you're Nick DiPaolo.
This guy Cassius calls in a lot. We like Cassius, and he's got a comment. Cassius, what's up, my friend?
Hello there. I don't mean to be such a phone hog, but there's so much going on lately. I've been listening to Who Are These podcasts along with you, or because of your recommendation. It's been hilarious.
I love them guys.
One of the really funny things is Opie. He's lived on the Upper West Side for God knows how long, but then when he's out with Carl, he's always saying how he's never tried any of the food that Carl's talking about, or the food that's at the restaurants, and they're in his neighborhood, and he doesn't know where he doesn't know what IPA means, like in the world of beers. Like it's like, what has he been eating and drinking for all these years on the Upper West Side? He doesn't.
Yeah, let me tell you a little story. When we lived up in Massachusetts, the radio station was WAAF, and it wasn't in Boston. It had to be 30 fucking miles west of Boston. It was in the middle kind of part of Massachusetts. So I got an apartment in Ashland, which was a 10-minute drive to the studio. Opie insisted on getting a place in one of the ritziest areas right outside, like Newton and just all of those. Do you remember which one it was? It was right near like Newton and all the richest fucking areas of Boston. Just crazy. Yeah, pop up a stupid map of that god-fucked city. I think he lived in Cambridge. Very nice. Very fucking nice.
My family lives in Cambridge.
But Opie just wanted to say, I live in Cambridge. Like, that's all he wanted to say. Is Harvard in Cambridge, right? So.
Yeah, Harvard. My dad was at Harvard Hospital when I was young, so we lived in Cambridge, and I remember it being fucking nuts.
Yeah, it was nuts, but he would be inconvenienced.
Oh, he's just dying at the time.
He needed one. Having to drive all that way out to the studio, and I'm driving. I didn't give a shit. I'm in a garden apartment surrounded by El Salvadorians and Guatemalans that literally used to put chicken wire on their patios and put chickens in there.
Well, they're gone now.
They've been swept up. I didn't even give a shit. It was just like
chicken Holocaust we were talking about earlier.
My gig. This is great. But Opie wanted to say, "Where do you live?" Oh, I'm in Cambridge. Yeah. And the house was shit. It was a shitty little.
Some weird reason he had to be among the academics and the.
That was
the
it, and it's
the university
and it's the same thing he did with the Upper West Side. He said, "Oh, I where do you live?" Oh, I'm on the Upper West Side. He loves saying it. Yeah. And meanwhile, you have two kids, a wife. You're up on the 30 fucking something floor of one of the Trump buildings on the West Side Highway, and you're not going out. You're not constantly going up and down to go visit your neighborhood or get, something from the store or go to a restaurant.
Honestly.
So his wife goes out and shops.
Right.
She cooks. He goes into his apartment, doesn't leave till the next day, and that's it. But he just wanted to be able to say, I live on the Upper West Side.
Can you afford to go out to those places?
It's another thing. Not if you're on a podcast on Westwood One.
Anything
that.
Well, wait a minute. You weren't shitting on him for going home, staying in the house, and then not leaving, were you? I mean, I just want to make sure that that's not the part.
Let me tell you something, my friend. Other people come over.
Oh, okay.
I go out my back door, and there's a pool out there.
Okay, that's fine.
Friend.
I just wanted to make sure that wasn't the part.
And I have friends come over. I could have just stopped at I have friends. See?
I'd love to relax.
You need.
She eats real fucking loud. Like we have plastic bowls for the kids.
Yeah.
And she'll use the ceramic bowl. So with the spoon, like
clang.
Kids, there's no noise. The kids are asleep, and she's clanging, and like she'll eat in the fucking bedroom. I'll close the fucking door on her. I'll close the bedroom door. It's a great pussy move. Getting pussy move. Close the door when your wife's eating a fucking clang with the cereal. No, I'm like, just eat a plastic bowl. I don't like plastic bowls. I go, we all have to pay. We all have to make sacrifices.
That's not a big sacrifice.
No, just use a plastic bowl at night. You can, during the day when there's a lot of noises, do whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah, but at night, you make a good point there.
Yeah.
But the whole thing with the, if you're going to go to bed, to put the bowl in the sink, I couldn't imagine washing out a bowl right before I go to bed. I listen to is that
like,
it?
It's like,
Let me hear. Where is it?
Yeah,
that's it.
That night.
That's. I guess you guys taped my wife. I guess
It's so annoying.
you mic'd the ball.
It is annoying.
Oh, we have plastic. Yeah.
You know what?
It's real fucking noisy.
You know what Greg Opie Hughes used to do during the show?
Chew into the mic.
He would sit. Yeah,
Yeah, I
chew into
know
the-
that.
He had like he was so gay with what he ate. Like everyone else, me and Jim were like, yeah, let me get an egg on a roll with some bacon and fucking an OJ or whatever. And Opie's like, Kenny, I need some yogurt, some plain yogurt, and the steel. What was that oatmeal called? The steel.
Steel cut.
Steel cut oatmeal.
Steel cut. It's got to be steel cut, not copper cut.
Steel cut, and then I'll need some blueberries, but check them. Make sure they have like a cloud on them, because they got to be fresh blueberries.
Just warm them up and pour them in my ass crack.
Yeah.
Wait,
put it on your dick and shove it into my body through my ass.
But he wasn't always like that. He evolved into that, right? Or was
he was
he
kind of always like that.
He was.
And then during the show, this part got me, and it's exactly what you're saying. When you're with somebody long enough, doesn't matter what the fuck they do, it's just awful.
Annoying.
So he would have the cup, and at the end, all I'd hear is the little plastic spoon and the yogurt cup going.
Yeah, that's annoying too.
On a mic, I'd hear it in my headphones. I wanted to kill the motherfucker.
In the cardboard cup. Yeah.
And he's
Did
eating.
you get it? Did you get it all, Ope?
Get it?
Get it?
Is every little morsel of that
Is everything?
goodness in
God
you?
forbid you miss one little drop.
And then one time I started eating. I was eating grapes.
Yeah.
I had some grapes. I'm just flipping some grapes in my face, and he was like, "Oh, what, you just gonna eat grapes?" So I'm like, "Don't even." And that let that argument out.
You're just
that
gonna
day on
eat
the air.
grape? That's the most passive aggressive.
It's like grapes. If I have something to say with grapes, I could just go, there, I'm talking.
Right.
It's a grape.
Well, he was mad that you were eating on air. You were eating grapes.
Yeah, I was eating grapes on air.
But he used to eat on air.
Of course. The whole
Remember,
time.
I would listen
and
to him
burp
eating
into the
yogurt.
mic and scrape his fucking cup.
Oh, that's
lot of
Opie.
people- You want to
That's
eat
the
grapes
two
and we'll
of
do
us.
this after the
He's
break?
taking
No,
it in
that's
the
okay.
ass.
A
I have
lot
a
of,
saw.
That's true.
A lot of people.
Grapes.
Yeah, which one of them do you think eats yogurt and bran?
No, that's
Yeah,
okay.
let's listen to a little of
a lot
this.
of people.
This is
have-
the argument.
A lot of people. You want to eat grapes and we'll do this after the break?
No, that's okay.
A lot of people have had.
Why'd you eat yogurt?
Huh? I don't do that anymore.
I know. I just
I
started.
really don't. I realize that it's annoying, so I just like do it on the side.
Oh, that.
All right, in 12 years, you could yell at me.
Whatever.
Come on, I'm fucking around. You're in a bad fucking mood.
I told you I
know,
been in a
but don't
bad
let
mood
it
for
affect
3
the
days.
fucking show. You're in a bad
Has
fucking
it?
mood.
Has it the last 2 days?
Yes, it has.
No, it hasn't.
You've been in a cranky fucking mood. I understand we've been fired from fucking
tension
CBS
is
and
so
shit, but let me
uncomfortable
tell you
at this
something.
point.
I'm not the only one that notices. You're in a cranky fucking mood. Everyone's noticed.
Do you want me to start talking about what people notice about you? Leave it alone.
Yeah, tell me.
Leave
Go
it
ahead.
alone.
Tell me what people notice
Leave it
about me.
alone. Leave it alone.
I'm not leaving
nice to
anything
people?
alone.
Leave it alone. Leave it
I'm the one who's not going to
Be
eat
honest.
it.
Then he started
You
going,
had
leave
your-
it
you had a
alone.
lot
Like,
of
look out.
moments over the last
Something's coming.
How did I have moments over the years?
Leave it alone. Just leave it alone.
Why leave it alone?
It was a little
I made
thing.
a fucking joke. It's a
I
joke.
didn't
It's
go
a
for
funny
the,
show.
I didn't go
And
for
you,
the joke today. That's all.
You're
Leave it
fucking
alone.
making faces at me.
Leave it alone.
I don't need faces.
Leave it alone.
The leave
Seriously.
it alone thing is like,
I'm
no.
not gonna
Everybody wants you to just get it, just talk
Get it
about
out.
it, get it out in the air.
Leave it alone. And the way he said it, leave it alone. Like,
Leave it alone.
look out, don't make me angry. You won't like me when I'm angry.
Like you're a married couple and you have company, and let's just
Right.
wait till they
leave it alone. It's
No,
a
it's
show.
it's radio. Just fucking talk about it.
Everyone wants to hear us yell at each other.
Really, what it is, though, is it's a married couple that's been together way too fucking long.
That's it. He never gave me a blowjob either.
Yeah, exactly.
Not once.
Yeah, you decided to get together early on. Never gave me a fucking blowjob.
Wouldn't even suck my dick. What a. Wait, wasn't there a point where you guys are doing like 5 hours a day? You got to cross the street to finish a shit. I mean, that's like insanity.
It's crazy.
You got to eat as you're crossing the street.
Yeah, we did the walk. We were broadcasting while we crossed the street. They had a fucking shopping cart with a fucking microwave dish in it.
How could you even do one? How could you even do one day 5 hours and then do a bunch just day after day?
You're not even
You're
with
in
your-
jail.
It was.
You're not even with
It's
your
a well-paid
spouse for
jail.
that.
It was great. Yeah, well-paid jail.
Yeah, but you're not even with your spouse 5 hours a day. At
No,
least
no, you're not.
conscious, Not conscious.
You're not.
Not interacting.
Yeah, not
you gotta
interacting.
interact with your spouse all day. You'd fucking
Lose
get
your
divorced.
Oh,
yeah.
you'd last 3 weeks in marriage.
Yeah, and then he would say like, you know, we We don't talk, man. You don't text me or even call me out of. We just spoke for 5 hours every fucking day. And now I'm supposed to be like, how was your day?
Text me when you're home.
I'll lay on my bed on my stomach with a princess phone. And we'll do a split screen of him and me. Yeah. And my legs will be behind me, moving my feet. Yeah. So, how was your day?
You just have a sucker.
Oh, Opie.
Yeah. What an asshole. God, am I so happy to be away from that fucking asshole.
I'm on the phone with my wife for 3 minutes. I'm like, so that's good then? We're all set?
Yeah.
Like after so much marriage?
Yeah. I don't pick up a call.
How do you talk? We get it. We're in this partnership together. End of fucking
text
day.
The best part is when somebody texts you and then they call you and you're like, what the fuck happened?
Yeah.
Never do that.
Does that Bobby fucking Kelly?
Yeah, because he's in his fucking fat boy car. No offense. He's in his fat boy car. He always calls me on it because he thinks he's in his big car.
Right.
And he don't want to text, so he calls you. Sometimes he'll call me 3 times. I'm like, I'm not picking it up.
Yeah.
If I'm with my kids, I can't have I'm not in my car. I can't have a private conversation.
No.
With you. You're not fucking Don fucking Bobby Kelly. He thinks he's in the mafia.
Don Bobby.
Yeah, and he's like, I need privacy.
Don Bobby.
Don Bobby. This is Don Bobby here.
Leave the gun. Take the 18 boxes of cannolis. He would text me. And then I would answer his text.
Yeah.
Then he would call. Yep. And I wouldn't answer the call. And then he'd text me back going, dude, you got your phone in your hand. You just texted me. I know you see I'm calling. I'm like, well, text me what the fuck you wanted to talk about.
Right.
I don't want to call. I don't want to fucking sit. I hate talking on the phone. Can't let but believe me, we are fucking trying so hard to get this shit working. And let it have no reflection on myself or Keith or anybody. I mean, obviously, we're the ones that have to crack some heads, but we're working on this diligently to get everybody up to speed and updated with the apps and various passwords changes on the website. I'm just losing my mind with it. I might as well not waste all this anger, though, on just that when there's also Greg Opie Hughes to deal with. Ugh. What an asshole. Could I have some water, please? I'm sorry. I should have gotten that myself. I don't like when the crew in the booth are fetching me water. It's degrading. They should be in there jerking off to pornography during the program, not having to get me water. Greg Opie Hughes. Of course, for those of you new to the Anthony Cumia show, he was my on-air partner. Woo! Boink! On the O&A show many moons ago, up until about 4 years ago. Mm-hmm. And Greg Opie Hughes has this podcast on Westwood One. I keep giving him plugs for this thing. Not that it matters.
On what?
On Westwood One.
Oh,
the Westwood One Podcast Network.
Huh.
Yeah, and if you ever go to Westwood One Podcast Network, you can literally, I swear to you, they want you to just submit your podcast, and they'll put it on. Like, that's the criteria.
Is that true?
Getting on Westwood One. Oh, it's true.
Oh, my.
Like, we could probably go on Westwood One. Maybe people will hear the show. Westwood One. Yeah. So, Opie is on the Westwood One Podcast Network. And I keep plugging his show by talking about it, but it doesn't matter because I defy you to get through 10 minutes of one of his fucking shitty shows. Whether it's the zero content, the zero work he put into fucking putting a daily show on. Oh, daily? Did I say daily? 2 times a week. Woo. For an hour, I guess. Is it an hour? I've never made it that far. I know. No one knows. No one knows when it ends or how it ends. They've never made it that far. It's like in our spaceship. It's the edge of the universe. It goes on forever, so we never really know when it ends.
Yeah, you got to stop at some point.
You got to stop at some point out of utter and sheer disgust and boredom. So apparently Westwood One was like, hey, Opie, we'll give you a show, or we'll let you, not even give you a show, we'll let you do a show on our platform. So they threw him what amounts to a 1980s Mr. Microphone. Remember this thing? Where you had a microphone and it played the radio and you could drive around and go, hey, foxy ladies, out of your car.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what he used to broadcast because I couldn't imagine anything even resembling professional equipment could sound so shitty. I guess he thought if it sounds shitty, people won't realize how shitty the content is. Is that a thing? Could that be a thing? I think it's a thing. If it's all echoey and it sounds like it was recorded off a Panasonic tape recorder you got for your 8th birthday, maybe then it'll take away from the fact that nothing is happening during this program. Nothing. So he's had a couple of tweets lately. He tweets all the time, and a lot of people send me his tweets. They say, hey, Anthony, look at this one from Opie. And 99% of the time, it's like, look, I understand what the guy's trying to do. He's trying to make a little name for himself. Yesterday, he said something like, I defy you to find another show that is as consistently funny as this one. I defy you to find a tweet that is consistently as funny as that tweet. How about that? Because I got to be honest with you, I can think of a lot of fucking shows. Someone staring at our non-working app for an hour is getting more fun and entertainment than watching your fucking show. Greg Opie Hughes. He's the worst. So he tweeted that, and people send it to me, and I'm like, whatever. He's trying to pump up his fucking shit. So then, do you have that tweet from him? Go to Opie's Twitter and pop up that tweet about how people haven't moved on with their comedy. It's fucking hilarious. His tweets are hilarious. He did a show recently with Steve Buscemi. No, not Steve Buscemi. That would be good.
That'd be impressive.
Yeah. No, he went over Mike Bischetti's house and did a show there. We love Mike. Mike's a good guy. He's an odd kind of guy, but always fun and funny to have on the show and everything.
Yeah.
And I guess during that show, somebody else, I don't even know who the people are on his show or anything, maybe a producer or something. Oh, I think it's Mike Bischetti's producer, whatever that is, started asking Opie questions about the show and how people called him an asshole and stuff. And he goes on this diatribe of just like making excuses for himself and what an awful person he is. That's the funny one right there. I challenge you. Oh, it's a challenge. The challenge is on to find anything that is consistently funnier. How about crib death? All right. I'm going to submit to you for this Opie challenge of finding something funnier than his show, SIDS. Dead child in a fucking bassinet. I still have bassinets? I don't know.
I don't. You do, not for long. Especially,
bassinet.
You especially don't have it for long if your kid dies.
If your kid dies. Funnier, yeah. I find it hilarious. Well, not hilarious. More hilarious than Opie's show. The thought of brandy new nursery furniture out by your garbage on the curb. Brand spanking new. Because you won't be needing that anymore. That's funnier. Something we all know. 9/11. 9/11. Consistently funnier than Opie's show. Might have heard of 9/11. Thousands killed. People dropping to their deaths from 100 stories up.
That was the same year, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe a year after Columbine. Would that be?
The hilarity that was Columbine. Or really any school shooting. Even the one up in Connecticut with the little children. Consistently funnier. Now, this in no way is telling you that these events are funny. Of course they're not. 9/11?
No.
School shootings?
Not funny.
Not funny at all. But they are funnier than the Greg Opie Hughes show. Which just stinks.
Have you ever heard this is there's a website you can go to and see kids tell jokes, like 5-year-olds, and the best one is probably what do you call a 5-year-old with no friends?
What?
A Sandy Hook survivor.
Oh, Jesus. And a kid told that joke?
Kid tells the joke.
Consistently funnier, right there. Right there, it's funnier than anything you'll hear on Greg Opie Hughes show. So Opie put out another tweet. Do you have that one where he says? Yeah, I'm sure you got that. It's so I was reading this today and just and with everything that's been going on with the tech issues, I just snapped. I had to fucking respond. There it is. Look. So I guess Phil, who probably is another alt Opie account. One time he fucked up, and he. Anytime you have 2 accounts or more, you will fuck up. You will fuck up and forget to sign out of one and into another and answer yourself. I've seen it happen with people. It's sad.
Yeah, it is.
And Opie did that once with his show. I think it was one of his alt accounts. But I guess Phil, do we have Phil's tweet? Oh, yeah? Okay, no problem. No problem. We got time. There's Phil. Sadly, none of their comedy. All right, now he's talking about Jim and Sam and me. We know he's talking about me too. Just let's stop. Sadly, none of their comedy has evolved or grown. Same material over and over. Opie bashing. Well, he's right there. I am Opie bashing right now. They have failed to develop their own shows without the O&A elements somehow involved, using their old bits. Our old bits were me and Jimmy talking to each other and having a conversation. And now myself and Dave Landau talking to each other and having a funny conversation between 2 people that appreciate each other's humor.
And have created our own bits, I'd like to say.
Right, our own things.
From the day one when we created the character of the abused woman.
The abused, why? Well.
Give you a whack across your beak. Is it cousins I'm garbage? 'Cause you're garbage.
Shut up, you stupid pot.
Now go blow.
Now go blow. I love that one. The Long Island Railroad guy. All these great things. But so Phil.
That was day one. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but that was day one of new characters.
Fucking one. And now we're doing the at the movies thing.
It's fun.
Having a great time. Old TV movies. A fucking jelly bean.
Jelly bean.
That was so tragic.
Babbage. Who brings up Babbage?
Babbage. So now, look, I get tweets like this a lot. I get similar tweets. And you know what I do? I blow right past them. I take it at face value, and I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever. Because I get it all the time. Dude, have you even tried to listen to Opie's show? It stinks. It sucks. It's this. It's that. He puts no work into his show. I get it all the time. You and Jimmy carried that fucking lump of shit for I get that all the time. I never
just my text to you.
I never. It's from Jimmy. I never fucking address those on Twitter. I get them all the time. But Opie, reading Phil's ass lap of him, had to respond. So let's go to Opie's response here. Very true, Phil. Why didn't you write, bravo, Phil? Bravo. They had a great opportunity to develop a brand new show, but instead relied on the now old O&A formula with the same tired, played-out guests. It comes down to a lack of experience and laziness. To do radio correctly takes a lot of hard work. You fucking unself-aware dickbag. You just described yourself. You fucking same guests. You have 3 guests on your show. 3. Carl Ruiz, who you should fucking thank him like you should have thanked me. He's fucking Anthony 2018. Anthony 2018. Hilariously funny. Hilariously funny. I like Carl. He's a funny guy. He's able to fucking save your ass, just like I did. His wife divorced and hates him, just like mine. Carl is Anthony 2018. And then Vic Henley, Vic Henley. Oh, wow. You want to have comics on? You want to have Vic Henley? I got no qualms with Vic Henley, but let's not talk like it's a lineup of 20 rotating comics you have on. You have Vic and Sherrod. I like Sherrod, too. I've done Sherrod's show, Race Wars. Had a great time with Sherrod. Anytime I see him when it was at the Stand or the Cellar or anything, I'll sit down, have a nice talk with Sherrod. We laugh our balls off. Great guy. But you're saying that the O&A formula of having the same comics on and the same guests, it's your whole show is based on the same guests. The same guests. And as far as the hard work goes and the inexperience or whatever he said there, you grab a recorder that Westwood One gave you, mind you. Now this guy, people, is a multi-millionaire. Opie's this is no secret. We made a fuck ton of money back as the O&A show with that old formula. and he made a fortune. The motherfucker can't spring for good equipment. It's 2018. I think it's 2018.
I think it is.
I think we put that across. Here you go. Look, here it is. Now, this obviously is for a video broadcast. We wanted to bring you the best product possible. But everything, the audio, and that's Opie's. What is he holding? What is that? What is he examining him like bones on the Enterprise? What is he, Dr. Greg Opie Hughes of the Federation? What is that?
Why is he wearing a black
This is an
lady
H4n audio recorder.
H4n, I know what the N stands for. Holy shit, is that rigged? What is the R2D2 mic? The Negro R2D2 behind the windscreen.
I think this is Mike's home studio, and that's his green screen when he has to do.
Hold it. So, look, that's Mike's mic.
Yeah.
Because I was going to say, that's not bad, really. Like, why isn't he using that? So Opie was taping his podcast and fucking used that.
You want to hear it?
Oh, yeah, I've heard this. Let's hear the audio.
My friends in this, who I like as people, I don't care. If someone's famous or an asshole, I don't want to be a friend of them. I don't care what they can do for me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If I like you as a person, you're my friend.
Hello.
Oh, he can give me this. That guy will do this.
The sound quality is abominable.
All he had to do was plug in an XLR mics into those two inputs and it would have sounded way
what is
better.
That? What does that cost? That sounds like too much work for my hard-working podcast that I do. Ugh. Oh, my God. He's just... What is this? This is hard work and preparation. Look at him. He's bored with himself. Look at him. He's like this. Oh, fuck. What am I doing? Where's Carl? Carl isn't here. What am I doing? I listened to Who Are These Podcasts? You know those guys? They're going to be in, right?
Next
August
week.
7th.
Yeah,
on the 7th.
Coming in. I listened to them critique that show. It's so fucking funny. Like, I don't know if that guy at some point, like, did a Vulcan mind meld with me and actually experienced my life with Opie as a radio partner. Because he gets everything spot on. The fucking self-absorbed, narcissistic douchebag that is Opie. He fucking got it, like, nailed it. And wait, all right, I got to go to Scott here on the phone because he's found something a little consistently funnier than Opie's show. Scott from Virginia.
This makes 4.
Yeah, I've got something funnier than Opie's podcast, and that would be a train ride to Auschwitz in 1944.
Okay, so you're saying that the Jews in the train, the boxcars, the overheated boxcars, on their way to Auschwitz, the death camp of the Nazis they used to try to execute every Jew in Europe, is funnier than Opie's show.
Yeah, even the shower at the end of the train ride was funnier.
Even the shower. The kicker, the extra content. Well,
I've listened to
thank
every
you,
one of
Scott.
those goddamn shows. They're awful. Every one of them. The Nantucket ones he just did are just horrific.
Oh, there once was a show from Nantucket. Within 3 minutes, you'll say, fuck it.
Well, much like Hannah Gatsby, it's
Thanks, man.
evolved comedy.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think that's what's important that we have to recognize.
Right. It's not how much you laugh or how much you're enjoying it.
It's how uncomfortable you are.
Right, how uncomfortable you are watching it and how you can't look anyone near you in the eyes as it's playing out of sheer embarrassment for someone.
You know, comedy.
Comedy?
Yeah.
That's what comedy is based on.
Is no laughter.
Right.
I can think of 3 things that might be funnier.
Oh, okay.
Hannah Gatsby's 3 rapes.
When Hannah Gatsby gets up on stage and discusses her 3 rapes, more guffaws than any time during Opie's show.
Her hat trick of pussy invasion.
Yes. She got the hat trick.
Is what I can say.
That is, consistently funnier.
Yeah.
Than Opie's show. So, the equipment is just abominable. And this guy could absolutely afford decent equipment. And by the way, it's not even that expensive. And it's portable. Like, there's a way to broadcast a podcast that is pretty portable. When they went to Nantucket, they had like one microphone. And they had a bunch of guests, and they're passing it around until someone came up with another mic and said, oh, look, we got another mic. Like, wouldn't you have 4 microphones, something where you could plug 4 XLRs into a small mixing board? Yeah, a small mixing board, and then, have it at least sound good. It's not even a video podcast, which is fine. There are plenty of audio podcasts. Actually, we're trying to get an audio podcast out to our fucking people, but the RSS feed. But I digress. There's a way to do an audio podcast in 2018, again, it sounds good. It's pleasing to the ear, regardless of what's being said. It's just the sound itself is nice. It's not like they're doing it from inside a 55-gallon drum, because that's what it kind of sounds like, and just awfulness. But then the material itself, Opie said, what did his tweet say again? It said something about hard work and they haven't moved on. Yeah, there it is. It comes down to lack of experience. Oh, and laziness. Right, laziness. To do radio correctly takes a lot of hard work. This fucking moron plops down what amounts to a kid's toy and has absolutely no show prep whatsoever. I have not heard one show or even other people critiquing his show where he has prepared anything. He depends on everyone else to bring anything, because this is a guy who has no opinion of anything. And that would kind of sound cool if you weren't an idiot. Like if you just have no opinion, you're like, fuck that, man. I ain't got no fucking opinion about it. Well, you gotta have a motherfucking opinion. Oh shit, I shot Marvin in the face. You got but he's devoid of any type of creative mind to take in information, process it with your own intellect, knowledge, feelings, everything, and then put it out there as your own opinion on something. Incapable of doing it. And that's pretty much what we do here. We grab stuff and we go, hey, how do you feel about that?
And I respond.
And yes, Dave responds. And I retort. Or I respond and Dave retorts.
That's right.
Allow me to retort. And that's called show. Now, Opie plunks down his Mr. Microphone and then lets other people have a conversation, and then he'll just go, nah, dude! Oh, bravo, dude! Really? Oh, brother man. And that's not lazy. That's hard work. He gave us a challenge. He gave us the Greg Opie Hughes challenge. He challenged us to find anything consistently funnier than the Greg Opie Hughes. The Greg Opie Hughes show. I have a challenge. I challenge you to do one show, 1 hour long, where it's you and a couple of topics and nobody else. No calls, no guests, no talking to any staff that's around. You just have to talk into the microphone about a few different topics and disseminate them, form an opinion, give people an idea where they might build on it, influence people with your cunning. I want to see that because I can't. We've taken your challenge of finding something consistently funnier. A few of the callers have too. Chris from Ohio, what is consistently funnier than the Greg Opie Hughes show?
Well, I tweeted this to him this morning, and he promptly blocked me. I don't know if it was I said that pancreatic cancer was funnier than his show. Or
Kids dying of cancer.
Pancreatic cancer, more specifically.
Sure, take a seat, man.
Come on in.
Derek Richards with us. So you're saying that, like, those dying kids at the Shriners Hospital, consistently funnier than Greg Opie Hughes show?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Any sort of cancer diagnosis is fucking hilarious. And I agree with Dave. The Hannah Gadsby rapes.
Hannah Gadsby rapes are hilarious.
Real,
I don't understand
real
how
knee
you don't find those funny.
Slappers there.
Thank you. Thank you, Chris. We have to move on because other people are taking the Greg Opie Hughes challenge to find something consistently funnier than his show. Mike, what's up?
Hey, something funnier, consistently funnier than Opie's show. My neighbor bought a newborn Maltese puppy for their kids, and a falcon came down and grabbed it and took it away, and they never saw it again.
So a newborn cute puppy being taken and torn apart as food for a bird is funnier than the Greg Opie Hughes show. Thank you, Mike. And, of course, Ryan wants to check in with us. Ryan, what's up, my friend?
Hi. Well, unfortunately, I have to announce I'm Team Opie.
Oh, well. Okay, let us know then. Why?
Well, your show is way funnier for sure, but that's kind of the problem. Sometimes I listen to the show in public and I have my headphones on, and if I just start laughing out loud, that's kind of a bad thing. So with Opie's show, I listen, and there's no risk that I will laugh out loud and look like a maniac in public.
So. That's true. You can definitely keep your job with Opie Radio.
Oh, yeah.
So you're saying... I think everyone knows what he's saying. Oh, okay. So as kind of a way to save face in public and not look like a laughing mental patient walking down the street, you enjoy the Greg Opie Hughes show because there is nary a chance that you could possibly laugh during it.
That's correct. My brow is furrowed. I look like I'm listening to like a science podcast or something.
All right. Well, thank you. A little different take. Thank you, sir. A little different take.
True.
On the whole thing. How about Mike in Tennessee? What do you got, my friend? What's the Opie challenge?
The Day the Clown Cried with Jerry Lewis.
The film The Day the Clown Cried with Jerry Lewis, where he's a clown in a concentration camp and has to lead the children into the gas chamber. A hoot compared to the Greg Opie Hughes show. So challenge on. Challenge on, my friend. Thank you, Mike from Tennessee.
We do have a guest. Should we ask real quick if you can think of anything that might be funnier than the Greg Opie Hughes show?
Derek Richards, thank you for joining us again.
No, thank you for having me. I got to go back to, I was watching History Channel and you were talking about the train to Auschwitz.
Yes.
And there were actually options for the Jews to listen to his podcast or go in the oven. And they went, it's really not that hot in there.
They chose
the oven.
The oven.
Yeah.
As opposed to listening to Opie's show.
I remember that was on History last night.
Yeah, it was.
What would be less painful for them?
Yes.
And they chose a hot foundry-like oven.
They went,
Yeah.
that's all right.
Not bad.
It's like Miami.
You
Let's go
listen
in.
to that shit. I'm going in the oven?
Jews love Miami.
Wow. Hey, dude.
There's a second hot place they're known for being at all the time.
Here's a Crank. Crank, my friend. What is up?
Sorry, it's Frank.
Yeah.
Oh, why is it spelled Crank? Frank the Crank. What's up, my friend?
So I wanted to say two things about how much funnier your show
He's
is.
accepting the challenge, the Opie challenge.
Citing an example, I think it was not last week, but the week before, when you said that any gay man in his 60s should be decorated like a Normandy survivor.
Yes.
And then
I think
Dave
I did say
Landau just quietly says USS Bathhouse.
I like it.
Yes, that happened.
The USS
And then-
Bathhouse on the hat with the
Yeah.
fuck. And instead of the, what do they call that? It looks like scrambled eggs on the brim.
Yep.
It'll be the same thing, but only white. So it looks like two cum splotches on the side of your hat.
And I'd like to cite the time that you and Artie, and I think it was Rich Voss, about the criteria that would not get you invited to Joel Osteen's
Yes.
mansion.
I remember that.
I think that was, and I have one if you want to throw in. If your first name has an apostrophe, you can't come.
If your first name has an apostrophe, you're not allowed to go to that church
Right.
for shelter during a hurricane or other disaster. Hi, my friend. Wasn't quite on
You
the
guys are great.
Opie thing, but that's fine too.
Awesome. Thanks,
Go
guys.
with that. Thank you, sir. Yeah, a lot of people finding things, accepting the Opie challenge of what could possibly be funnier than the Greg Opie Hughes show. I submit one more thing, I guess. That family that was murdered in Connecticut, where they burnt the daughters alive after raping them, and the father survived. The father was asked. The father lived. The two daughters and the mother were murdered. The daughters were burnt alive in their beds by these two men after they were raped. The father escaped with horrible injuries, went to a neighbor, was saved, brought to the hospital, and survived, and lives with this image and pain in his head. In a recent interview, he's quoted as saying, "That was the second worst moment in my life. The first was listening to the Greg Opie Hughes show."
Bro, no, really.
Oh, bro!
Oh!
Come on! Carl! Yuck. Yuck. Fuck you. Fuck you. I've had it today. Wow, have I had it. I hope the 4 people that are able to watch this, oh my God, it's like trying to decode a fucking nuclear missile. If that ever has to be done, I'm not sure.
I had
Whopper.
I had some friends that died in a horrific accident, and
I'm sorry to hear that,
and
Dave.
I found out that actually on the radio happened to be the Greg Opie Hughes podcast.
What a coincidence!
And they all agreed, just drive this right into the wall.
So they chose to hit a wall and kill everyone in the car. That's
correct.
And of course, the driver himself dying.
Yes.
Instead of having to continue listening to the Greg Opie Hughes program. Challenge on.
Well, there was one survivor, and he shot himself after leaving the hospital.
Just he couldn't get it out of his head.
Right.
So even the thought of the Greg Opie Hughes show will make you kill yourself.
From what I understand.
I'm amazed.
Conspiracy theory. 9/11.
Yeah.
When the planes were hijacked, they were going to actually land safely.
This I haven't heard this.
In Havana.
Wow, like a
But
regular hijack.
Yeah, but they started pumping the Opie podcast in the headphones of the hijackers.
Who did that?
And they went, fuck it, we're done.
We're done.
Boom.
That's right.
Wow, so 9/11 could have been avoided if not for the Greg Opie Hughes show going into the headphones. Some air traffic controller really needs to be called on the carpet for that one.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
But let me see. Maybe there's a couple of more people that want to. We're not leaving this anytime soon.
Oh, my.
Don, what's up, my friend? You
Gentlemen,
want to
got me?
accept? Hold on. You want to accept the Greg Opie Hughes challenge to find anything that is consistently funnier than his program?
Well, it's going to be hard. It's going to really be hard. Hey, Dave, by the way, thanks for the shirt.
Yeah, no problem.
I think, thanks a lot. I think on board the space shuttle, they were listening to Westwood One, and they hit the blow up button.
The blow up button. So the Challenger, you're saying they'd rather hit the self-destruct button and blow themselves in the craft up instead of listening to Greg Opie Hughes, which Johnson Space Center was piping into their cabin. Wow.
Exactly.
I'm learning so much about history today.
Thank you, guys.
Consistently funnier, the space shuttle Challenger exploding. And let's see what, who is this, Chrissy?
Yes. Hi, Aunt. Hi, Dave.
Hello. Hi, Chrissy.
I'm from Detroit, so
Oh, the
gotta
D.
say hello to my bro there.
Hello. Hope you're enjoying the same old O&A formula here.
I want to accept the challenge,
Uh-huh.
and I want to say that listening to Hillary Clinton hack into the microphone for hours.
Now,
It's
that
consistently
was
funny.
pretty
It's
funny.
legitimately funny.
That was legitimately funny, but maybe as a liberal Hillary supporter, that wouldn't be very funny.
No, it would not.
Watching her almost die at the podium all the time. Well,
For hours. Listening to her for hours hack.
that would be torture. Yeah, I would rather listen to, and I think that Hillary presidency, consistently funnier. Oof. That's a nightmare. Wow, that was even hard to say, and I was saying that murdered Connecticut family.
I know. Yeah, the Hillary thing. Yeah, that's
a tough one. So we accepted your challenge, and if you want to go on Twitter, I guess, go on Twitter and add your own accepting Opie's challenge. Find his tweet right there, and retweet with your own answer as to what you think is funnier, consistently funnier than anything. Anything consistently funnier than Greg Opie Hughes' show.
It could be a stray bullet that gets a 5-year-old who's brushing their teeth during a drive-by.
It could
Anything
be that.
Like that.
A regular comedy show that is, compared to it's like watching Carlin.
Right.
Has anybody checked in yet on that tweet and started tweeting their own ideas? Because if you want to block from Opie,
I'm getting a text.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, it's
interesting.
Oh, it's from Tracy Morgan. It says my accident.
His accident. Tracy Morgan's accident. A Walmart truck hitting it. Although he did make as much money as Greg Opie Hughes.
That's true.
As just like
Walmart is going to pay him out for a long time.
Yeah, that's so has anybody checked in yet? That'd be good. We gotta anyone who wants to accept the challenge from this point forward. Go ahead. What did you do from bed? Let's see what happens here. Ed from Vermont, what's up?
Hey, Ed. Hey, I just want to remind you that now this is 2 times. 1, you did a show from your bed when you were sick with the flu.
Yes.
And it was hilarious. And 2, you did a show from your house when you had no power.
Yes.
And it was awesome.
Yeah, because we consistently put on an entertaining show here. We're a funny show. No, I mean, because it's easy enough to get like an audio show out there, unless your RSS feed is down and your compound media, motherfuckers, fix this shit. Other than that, if the lights go out or something, you just do a show. Again, I challenge Opie to do a show 1 hour, just absolutely by himself. Just pick a couple of topics and do it. No Carl, that fucking Carl. And I know myself. I know how difficult it was for me to just sit back and fucking get mad, but continue to do the show for 20 fucking years with that guy. And it wasn't
Maybe you could do one
a
with
joy.
Snowy.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. It wasn't a treat, but I know other people like Carl and whatnot. Oh my God. So this guy's accepted the challenge. Watching my dad wither away from pancreatic cancer was funnier than your shit show. So challenge accepted. Challenge accepted. I can't think of a worse cancer
No,
and the
that
worst
one-
person to get it for the person watching.
Yeah, it's absolutely tragic that would be watching your father. Probably took 6 weeks.
Oh, it was probably just
Very quick.
painful and
Very quick.
so hard to watch and very sad.
A steady
Yet-
diet of ice water and pain was more humorous to this man.
Yet he decides that he will accept the challenge and say that was funnier for him than Greg Opie Hughes' show.
I love this old formula.
Yeah, the old formula is great. So I worked with him. Now, Carl, on the other hand, is not like me. He's very funny. I love him, but he doesn't have a lot of the patience that I had. I had a lot of patience. And at some point, Carl's just going to explode. And I think he has a few times on the show already gone, really, Opie, just fucking, what are you talking about? You're this. Or like he'll lash out at Opie. And Opie goes, ha ha, bro. Oh, and then when Carl calls in, because if he's not around, he's got to call in because Opie's freaking out that he's doing a show without the guy that carries him. And then he goes, hey, pal. Hey, buddy. Hey, pal. Because that's his way of trying to let people think that they're really good friends.
Right.
But I honestly believe Carl just wants the gig. Like, he wants to do a gig. He's probably, I don't know how they're getting paid over there. I can't imagine they are. But maybe it's like sponsorship stuff or anything. But I can't imagine Carl's making enough money to have to put up with that kind of shit. And Carl does a good job on the Food Network, and he does gigs. He's like, you see, he's taking pictures on Instagram and Twitter and stuff. And he's everywhere. He's a known chef and food expert that is in demand on the Food Network and other shows. And he doesn't need to be demeaned and doesn't need to carry somebody to watch them get any accolades or financial reward while you just sit there and go, he treats me like a lump of shit. So, so Opie's got to reinforce it. You'll notice a lot of those. Hey, Pally. Hey, buddy. There he is. Hey, pal. Carl, buddy. The most insincere. He's incapable of a human emotion. Just incapable.
Yeah, if you really want to talk about old dated thing, try the 90s shock jockery voice.
The same old. Oh my God, you brought.
I mean, really, it's
so
true.
Good. Here's what the who are these podcast guys? They rip his show apart. It's hilarious, and they were saying like, what are they doing? Opie hands over like 2 hours or whatever of material. They don't edit 1 second of it, but they do add in voiceovers, like there's a deep voice guy. Here you'll hear the Opie. When we return to the Opie show, you'll hear, like, that's in there. And there's sound effects and bed music and Opie going, yeah, welcome back, doing the 90s shock jock thing.
Yes.
He's talking about how everyone else is doing the same old thing when we're doing something that's completely new and different. Right. Like, this is completely different than radio. We actually have clips. We're able to show it on video, and we critique movies, and you can see it. It's not just a voice medium; it's a visual medium, something new. And he is doing literally 90s radio, and saying how cutting edge it is. Ugh, spin records. I told you during one of our fucking arguments once. One of our arguments where you were mad I was eating grapes, you psychopath. I told you during that argument that if we ever broke up, you'd just be spinning records somewhere. Spin your records. Hey, that was Pearl Jam. Even flow on the only station that really rocks. WAAF. Greg Opie Hughes with you. Coming up, we got some Soundgarden. Make sure you join AAF at the what could it be? I need a street in Boston. Lansdowne Street. Join us on at Gillies on Lansdowne Street. I'll be appearing there tonight at 7, giving away bumper stickers, and someone shoot me in the face, please. Someone shoot me in the face. I got no one to carry me anymore, brah. Got no one to carry me anymore, brah. Even Brother Weeze won't take my calls. Even Brother Weeze thinks I'm a douche.
Here's a new band with a little something. Green Jelly with 3 little pigs. They are here to stay.
The only station. Make sure I hit the post like a professional 90s jock.
Space hog.
Cheeky has taken the Opie challenge. The Ebola virus popping up in every other decade to ravage sub-Saharan Africa consistently provides us with more giggles than your podcast, sir. So challenge accepted and delivered.
Very well crafted tweet too.
Yes, very nicely crafted tweet.
Yeah.
That's God's way of letting people know there's too many people.
It's just fucking,
Theory about Carl. Carl might be the disgruntled employee right now.
Yeah.
Where he's taking away the good equipment.
Yeah, maybe.
Like he's like stealing good microphones, like one every other week.
Well,
and then leaving them with like this Panasonic recorder that he's using right now.
Every week, you think that's happening? Where it's like, where did my good equipment go? I have to once again record on this lump of shit. That sounds really like a child's toy.
He's embezzling from the company.
It is a fucking child's toy. If he could do a podcast through a 1968 ViewMaster, he would do it. Hey, dude! Whoa, dude!
Mount Rushmore.
Whoa, buddy!
Great Wall.
The Great Wall. It's the Great Wall, dude.
Disneyland. It's like
Whoa,
a
the Epcot Center.
Pyramids.
The pyramid. Whoa, brah. Carl, what do you think of this? Please help me, Carl.
Shower in Germany with somebody climbing up a mountain of bodies. Whoa.
How great would that be to put in a ViewMaster?
Just like, this is
Give
what?
it to your kid.
With all the fun things, and then that shows up. Whoa, brah.
Hiding in a
Whoa, dude.
How was that so randomly hidden back there?
Yeah, that's
the new Opie podcast. We're not lazy. We're doing new stuff. It's a visual medium, dude. Whoa, look at that. It's a horse. Whoa, dude.
If you want to talk about something that's not lazy, they just produced a fucking ViewMaster from the back room.
Yeah. How about that, motherfucker?
Impressive.
I don't know how they do that.
We got props.
Look, now I'm gonna bring out a naked 18-year-old girl.
No.
Nothing.
You guys?
17.
When it gets to 15, sell.
Let's have a sex auction, like in Taken.
I'm going to be taken.
Yeah.
My daughter's been taken.
I'm going to find her. Handcuffed to a bed with an IV in her. Getting fucked by everything and everyone, Derek.
His daughter was Hannah Gadsby?
Yes.
After the third rape, by the way, do you just throw in the hat? Like, does everybody...
Yeah.
Like, when she goes in to, like, file her third rape charge, do the SVU people just take hats and throw it in?
Let's throw it in. All right, there it is. Unfuckbelievable. Greg Opie Hughes.
Yeah.
His listeners have been taken. Join us for Greg Opie Hughes. Your listeners, Opie, they've been taken.
Yeah, Hannah Gadsby's dad was not Liam Neeson.
No, right? Dad. Hi, Dad. Yeah, no. Been raped 3 times now. Where are you?
Yeah.
Oh,
Honey,
no.
they're going to take you again.
Again.
And I'm not going to help.
You've been taken. Why would I go to the phones and find another man that wants to take the challenge? The Greg Opie Hughes challenge. Steve, you got something funnier, consistently funnier than the Opie show.
Absolutely.
What do you got?
I have the rape of Richard Speck.
You're talking the TV movie with Richard Crenna that we were reviewing the other day. The Rape of Richard Beck is consistently funnier. It might be, though. But at the time, I don't think it was meant as a comedy.
No, it is consistent.
Man rape.
Man rape.
Man rape is funnier than the Greg Opie Hughes show. Challenge taken. And I think you did a fine job, Steve. Wow.
I can think of 13 reasons why. A broom.
Oh, my God.
So awesome.
Wow.
Dick Beck.
Have you seen this made-for-TV movie?
No, I have not.
Oh, it was from the 80s, yeah.
This came from the 80s, I guess, when TV movies thought they had to be profoundly educational as far as horrible things go. And one was this cop. He was a real bastard. He didn't sympathize much with the victims of serious crime, and especially women that had been raped. He wasn't very sympathetic. And boy, did that come back to literally bite him in the ass.
Right.
Because he was walking the streets there one night, and a couple of guys dragged him in and ass raped him in a dark alley. And now he had to deal with that whole trauma. And he's quoted as saying, "At least it wasn't the Greg Opie Hughes show." At least it was.
He just is laying in a pool of anal blood, and you just hear him say that.
Yeah.
With some bubbles.
And all you hear in the background is, bro!
Brah! No, dude, you were fucked in the ass, dude!
Really?
Oh, brah! Brah!
Carl!
Brah!
Shoes on the other foot.
Well, maybe you could use a few road sodas, dude.
Gang rape.
Oh, gang rape. What do you got on that, Carl? Please, something, anything. Help me. Drowning.
When we come back.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, when we come back, more gang rape.
Oh, my God. Do you know when the I just heard this on the news, too. In Missouri, when that duck boat was sinking with all those people on board, and a woman lost 9 members of her family, I believe, including her children and her husband. Right before it went down, she cuddled her youngest kid and said, "But thank God you'll never have to hear the Greg Opie Hughes show." And then they just drowned. They drowned to death.
And then
The whole family.
And then there was a very happy announcement where somebody said, "Good news, 9 new open seats for Yakov Smirnoff tonight."
For the we seem to have some cancellations. Who wants to eat at my dinner theater? Free metal and magnetic trays.
In Russia, duck boat drown you.
Chicken cordon bleu, mashed potatoes, and vegetable medley. Thank God 9 people drowned.
Identify the bodies and mashed potatoes.
He sure wasn't Russian to get out of the water. Oh, Yakov.
Oh, Yakov.
I get it. A duck boat. Who gets on those fucking?
I don't know. Probably
Who goes
nobody.
to Branson, Missouri?
That's true. If
First
you're
and
going, that's your
foremost.
big vacation.
Drowning on a duck boat's the best thing that could
Right.
happen to you in Branson.
Yeah, that's true. At least everyone died together.
Now, was this just posted? Again, anyone else find it sad that 2 shows had to rely on me again today because they're too lazy to prepare a show?
There's 100 sheets of paper right here. And a guest.
And a guest. And 2 shows that constantly obsess about me. Couldn't tell you the first thing about theirs. Probably should move on and show the world how great you are at this. No? Greggy, we do a show every ding-dong day here. Every day except Friday. Come on. It's not really a day. It's the weekend. For 2 hours. 2 hours, 4 days a week, consistently. And we talk about many things. We rarely discuss Greg Opie Hughes. The fact of the matter is, you bit on one of your dumb fucking other accounts and had to talk about our lack of motivation and ability to do radio. So yeah, we're going to talk about you. What do you think? You're off limits? Or that if we talk about you, it's all we have to talk about? We could play 10 fucking straight weeks of shows where we never mentioned you, never talked about you. But when you post asinine shit like that and literally challenge the people to come up with something consistently funnier, we're going to talk about you, Ope. We're going to talk about you. Hell, we spent 20 years in the trenches together, didn't we? And now you have to depend on Carl. Poor fucking Carl. That poor son of a bitch. He must read Opie's tweets and go, because I know, me and Jimmy, still to this day, he'll send me an occasional Opie tweet and just go, ugh. I'll be like, yeah, I know. Jimmy loves this when Opie tweets, holy S, bro. Holy S. Is he trying to be like, I don't use the bad language anymore? Here's what I know happened. The motherfucker got married. His in-laws and family didn't quite like what he was doing on the show. Didn't quite like Uncle Paul when Jimmy would do that. And all the bits we would do about child fucking deaths and what's his name from killed his wife, murdered Lacey Peterson.
Lacey Peterson.
The Lacey and Connor Peterson jokes we would do and all that shit. His in-laws were like, well, I couldn't listen. And he's like, oh, yeah, holy ass. You could say shit on the internet. Believe me, a lot of people do it to describe your show. They use that word all the time. It's allowed. Wow, did you hear that piece of shit, Opie? Wow, did you listen to his shit show? Wow, the sound is really shit. They don't go S. They say shit. You're a grown man. You're in your 50s. You're allowed to say shit. You've earned it. Say shit. Holy S. He thinks people will read the tweets. And if shit is in it, the Ford Motor Company won't come to sponsor his program. I know this motherfucker better than anyone. He honestly thinks that as long as he doesn't curse, at some point, like the radio station out in L.A., like K-Rock L.A., or one of the stations that Ryan Seacrest is on, are going to go, have you heard this Opie guy? He's fantastic. And he doesn't even say the S word. We got to sign him up immediately. And then Opie wakes up. Oh, I got signed. Oh, I didn't. I'm a fucking incompetent fool. I need Carl Ruiz. Oh, please.
Holy shit.
No, we don't have to talk about you, Opie. We choose to. We choose to talk about you because we talk about plenty of fucking tragedies on this show.
He's personally responding to a lot of the challenges.
Oh, good. Can I see some?
Yeah.
Oh, my.
He's personally responding, which, by the way, the worst thing you could do. A little wordy. The snowflakes at the Javits Center on election night left more after midnight than anyone listening to your podcast.
Holy shit.
Rex Kramer said that. The Rhode Island the station.
Wow. Fire.
Bravo! He loves it. Shawshank Redemption, Brooks hanging himself. Funnier than your show.
That's not wordy. That's right to the point.
Yeah. Well,
yeah, this is perfectly said.
The alive plane crash. Is that where they had to eat each other?
Yeah, they were eating.
Bravo, dude.
Yeah, they couldn't live off of chocolate and wine, so they ate each other's asses.
Yeah.
And not in the fun way.
No. By the way, I'll take your thank you text anytime for actually letting people know you even have a fucking podcast, you cunt. The Kennedy Motorcade in Texas. Yeah. Oh, boy.
That's about it.
I love it. Oh, people, please just keep Opie occupied. Why would he be doing anything like show prep? The guy just doesn't prepare for a show. He honestly says this new crazy style of radio he's doing is literally plunking down a shitty recorder and hoping something happens. Anything happens. Someone will say something funny. Something will happen. A car will crash into the bar they're broadcasting. Anything that could possibly happen, he's hoping that it happens. And it just doesn't. It's just him trying to get the attention of anybody around. Hey, look at the bartender. Carl, check it out, a bartender. Dude. Oh, the waiter's bringing over some burgers. Dude. You're a waiter, dude. What are those, plates? Come on, I'm doing a show right now. Talk to the people. I really have nothing to say. Nothing, dude. We have some ketchup here. Carl wants another shot to drown his sorrows that he's hitched his wagon to this fucking lump of shit. Lump of S. Whoa, I gotta watch. Maybe IBM might want to advertise on Compound Media. I better watch my fuck language.
That's true. Fucking Seacrest might get another accusation thrown at him.
Hughes out. That's what he's imagining. Thanks for listening. Hughes out. Yeah, Hughes out. Out at Sirius XM. And, well, Westwood. You got Westwood one. That's good.
Oh, my.
All right, good for him. We can... We can move on, but I'm certain we'll be revisiting this throughout the rest of the broadcast. We'll do our best to stay on track, but I just got to talk about Opie. I got to talk about him. He knows that we have nothing else to do. Literally, you could fucking go back as many weeks as you want, and you just won't find anything, except for the last time he probably chimed in and said something stupid. Although if he said something stupid, we would always, if we broadcast every stupid thing he ever said, it would be the Opie Show. We would just consistently be the Opie Show. What are these podcast guys? Or who are these podcast guys? They now do, no matter what podcast they're critiquing and examining, at the end of every one of them now, they do a little update on Opie. And it's fucking hilarious. It's like, does this guy do anything? It's like they literally, and you could edit the show. Like, it's not live. So he gives them the tape. And like I said, they put in little things to make it sound like a 90s radio show, which is sad as fuck. But they don't edit out. Like, there was literally a moment during the Bichetti thing where people were talking over each other. Like they didn't even know a show was going on. Because in their mind, they must have not been able to conceive that this is a show. So, bro, what happened then, dude? Holding a fucking toy in his hand. So there's people talking over each other in the background. And they're not saying anything. And one of the guys actually says, yeah, well, we'll do that when the show starts. Like they didn't even know that Opie was taping for the show. It's literally the Chip Chipperson show. Chip comes out, we sit down, and for the first 10 minutes, he's talking. He goes, all right, let's start the show. Let's start, okay? And the fucking music starts, but the show's already started. Because Chip's retarded. See, he's not supposed to be knowledgeable as to radio and the works. I'm trying so hard to get away from this. I know. I can't do it. I'm sorry.
Trying to not feed the bear right now.
I apologize, people.
No, I get it. You get a little worked up.
Yeah. Speaking of losers, the Mets were pounded 25-4 last night.
Pounded like Hannah Gatsby?
Yes, they were raped, man. Mets, it's the worst loss in franchise history. And I just bring it up because I know my sister is such a huge Mets fan. I was making fun of her that Syndergaard, her favorite, of course, you know, ooh, Thor with his blonde locks. He's the Mets pitcher that's just dreamy. And Dawn, of course, loves him. And then he gets like hoof and mouth disease. Like,
is he really?
Yeah, he had like hand, foot, and mouth disease.
Is he 6 years old?
That's what I'm thinking. It's like, what is this, 1850?
Right, like, who gets that?
What did he get? The vapors next? What does he have? Oh, my goodness.
You just rolling around the floor of a daycare?
Oh, I was pitching a baseball, and all of a sudden I felt a little shiver. Oh, my goodness.
Well, he also has polio.
Yeah.
And his leg was injured when the wagon wheel ran over it. He was visiting relatives in Deadwood.
Yeah. Oh, shit.
I saw that on the crawl on ESPN last night.
Yeah.
I'm going, who the fuck gets this?
What, and mouth is it? What is he pitching? Cow shit? What the fuck could you possibly? How do you get that?
I think you have to have no immune system.
Yeah, it's got to be something like that. And I didn't know what it was. Like, I don't know what that is. Rightly so. I don't think anyone should know what that is.
Well, because unless you're unless you're a child with no immune system,
yeah,
you shouldn't get it.
Yeah, it's got to build up at that point.
Right.
But I looked on Google Images for it, hand, foot, and mouth disease. Dude, your feet fall off.
Do they really?
Like the guy's heel, the picture I saw, the heel, you know, sometimes you get dry skin and stuff, and they have those ped things that kind of feel. They have those ped things where you get a small nude child to.
Pedophile sands your
It's
feet.
a ped egg.
Yeah.
Here, kid.
You go to the massage parlor and pay the extra $200.
Yeah,
I know.
My pedo egg.
Oh no!
Oh my God!
Fuck? What the fuck?
I would want my feet to fall off after.
You walk through a volcano? How does that even happen?
Oh,
it's your hands, feet, and your mouth get sores in them. So I was mocking my sister about that, and one of the Yankees pitchers got it.
Oh,
like, how the fuck does that happen?
I got it.
You got that once?
Yeah, about 4 years ago I had it.
How come I don't remember that?
You know where you got it?
It was when I was doing my other gig, and one day I just got like this really bad fever, and I was absolutely miserable. And then I didn't have it as bad as what those things were, but I actually went and saw Dr. Jess, who was on our show back in the day doing.
I remember him.
Well, her. But
Her,
close enough.
I mean her.
When we did the bit, what is that?
Yeah. I thought you meant the guy doctor.
Yeah, there was two of them, him
involved
and
in
her
that.
together.
Yeah, that's what I
And
said.
She
Him.
told me, she's like, that's what you have. And I says, what do I do? And she says, it'll go away in a couple of days. But it was like miserable fever and everything
Wow.
like that.
No
but
antibiotics or anything? That doesn't help? Or
I don't remember that she gave me
Oh, it
anything
just
for it.
sounds-
Oh, really? It just kind of
I
goes
just
away.
literally
Is it
laid in bed with a
contagious?
fever and.
Like,
I assume it's
listen,
gotta
if he's at the end of the game shaking the Yankees' hands and stuff, maybe that's how they get it. I don't know if it's contagious
Yeah.
or not. What does Wiki say about it? I want some info on this thing that Mets and Yankees pitchers have. More fun though.
Maybe it's some
Opie's show, getting hand, foot, and mouth disease. Actually, sucking on someone's toes that has hand, foot, and mouth disease. More consistently entertaining and funny.
His podcast, Playing in the Mets Bullpen,
Yeah.
led to the 21-run
That's what
collapse.
happened. Somebody was
21-run
playing that,
deficit.
and it's a 25-4 loss by the Mets because of Greg Opie Hughes' show.
Played in the Mets dugout and in the bullpen.
At Shitty Field. Oh, at SE Field. S. Holy S. You fucking child. Oh.
Yeah, so it says it's spread by direct contact with saliva or feces.
Really?
That's good. So eating ass is out of the question.
Yeah, eating ass.
That's really
Out of the
just
question.
mix it. You're really taking a chance there.
But it just says your fingernails and toenails may fall off, but they grow back.
Oh, well, that's a fun while.
That's
Yeah.
terrible. Oh, my God.
Probably hard to pitch with these issues
Oh, my.
with
Could
no
you imagine
fingernails.
you wind up, you pitch, and all 5 of your fingernails just flying out at the batter?
Just that just that terrible feeling of just
nails and pus
Ooh, and just
coming out of your hand.
all your nails. Well, that fingernail hit him right in the eye. We'll
Whoa,
be back after this word from Budweiser.
He's grabbing his mitt. Just can you imagine just catching a fastball while all your nails rip off inside the leather?
He takes his mitt off, and it's like that scene in The Fly where
Yeah,
his
just-
hands come off and shit. I'm Lars Syndergaard.
He's just falling just green shit.
He's just fucking puking on his fucking hot dog.
Gina Davis is fucking him.
Awesome.
That was a movie where I'm surprised that did not kill her career when she fucks a fly.
She fucked the fly.
She fucks the fly.
Yeah.
Jeff Goldblum. Fly,
Didn't it kill her career though?
No, she was still in stuff after like
in, like,
Beetlejuice.
that baseball movie. Oh,
League of Their
Beetlejuice,
Own, which
right.
is League of Their Own is a good movie.
League of Their Own. Yeah.
The only thing Rosie O'Donnell has ever done that's watchable,
God,
and you could do
again,
the whole
way
movie
over the
without
top.
her.
Oh, what do you want from me?
Yeah, she's the worst.
Oh, Rosie, you got to play someone from New York. I'm from New York.
Yeah.
Wow, what are you doing from me? All right, you got to play a retard. Same fucking character.
Can you imagine?
Breath of Greg Opie Hughes.
Like, what movies come down to her pick? Like, can we get the fat retarded cartoon duck?
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
Do we get fucking?
Oh, I was on the bus. She sound like Pee Wee. It was just
She's the
fucking
worst.
terrible. And now she just sits there and paints pictures of Donald Trump. I painted. I hate you.
Even her-
criminal. Look what I painted. That's very good, Rosie.
Yeah, it's
You're doing
great.
so well with the painting. I am right. I am.
My kids don't talk to me.
My kids run away from home.
Even though they were once being molested in orphanages.
Right. They'd rather leave Rosie
Yeah.
and go back to the orphanage they were molested in than live with that fucking miserable fuck.
Yeah. Oh, she's the worst. I hope she gets dick cancer.
Oh,
Which looks an awful lot like that hand, mouth, and foot stuff that we
hand,
just saw.
mouth, foot and dick disease. Holy shit. Opie got that when he was a child, and his comedy fell off. Christ.
Oh my.
What is this here? Let me see what we're taking a lot of calls today. Scott from Virginia, what's up?
Hey, one of the most douche-chilling things that Opie does on his show is, well, besides the show itself, but he was in a coffee shop the other day, and I've heard him do this several times with people, random people on the street. he actually told this kid how famous he used to be and made this kid that works at this coffee shop in Connecticut Google his name while he stood there. And then the kid was just looked at him and was just like, yeah, okay. Like, he's done it several times in the show, like just random people on the street. Well, you know, some girl came up and talked to him because of whatever he records a show on. And he's like, oh, I thought you recognized because I'm famous. Yeah, I'm Opie, and you know, and dude, it is. Dude, I've got douche chills. I'm ready to drive off a fucking bridge right now just thinking about it so bad.
Do the kids say you don't look anything like Ron Howard?
Yeah, wait a minute, Opie. No, don't Google that, Opie. The other Opie.
Poor fucking Carl is standing there while he's doing this, and Carl has to have the butthead face the whole time while he's doing this shit.
Carl. I know Opie.
Oh,
Carl
poor
is not
guy.
happy with having to deal with that. Thank you, my friend. That is because I have heard that before, where it's like, no, I swear I used to be famous, and it would be a funny bit if you actually were being ironic about it. Like, look, I understand my position now, and it would be funny, like self-deprecating. He means it. He actually wants that person to look at him differently. Like, look, I used to be famous. It's so fucking pathetic. Oh, my God. There was a story a few years ago about this woman who was in a limousine with her young daughter on the Long Island Expressway. And I guess somebody was so drunk they were driving the other way down the expressway. This limo.
Was it me?
Head on. No, a rare instance, it wasn't you. The car wasn't on fire. It wasn't going in reverse.
Okay, just want to make sure.
Yeah. It hit the young girl who I believe was 4 or 5 years old was decapitated. When the emergency crews pulled up, the mother was cradling her baby's head.
Oh.
Just the head in her lap and stroking her hair. Consistently funnier than the Greg Opie Hughes show.
And the song on the radio was David Lee Roth's I Ain't Got No Body.
The cops pulled up and told the woman, "You're never going to get ahead that way." Maybe it is funnier.
Is she the head of her class?
She is now.
Oh no. That, by the way, I believe could be the most tragic thing I ever read in my life years ago. When that happened,
it's one of the most tragic things I've ever heard.
That is so true. The mother crying, cradling her baby's head.
Now, if you make the girl in her 20s or make it a guy and change it to LA and them talking about how great it's to be in Hollywood and that happens, that's fucking funny.
Now it's hilarious.
Yeah, limousine shouldn't even be a thing. We just need to knock it off with that.
No. They one time we were being taken somewhere in a limousine for the show, and it was who the fuck was it? Ron and Fez. Yeah, it was Ron and Fez and me and Opie and stuff. And Ronnie, who is just hilarious, because Opie's all excited, like he wants people to see him getting in a limo and stuff. It's like fucking big, like fucking big. He'll be on the door locks. A phone. Oh yeah. Oh, Snowy from Michigan. Why? Was something funny happening? Did you have to take a call, you lummox? So,
I do have to step away for 1 second. I have to drop an S.
Please do. You have to drop an S. Drop an S. Don't worry. That's good. We're going to get that AT&T spot. They're going to come on board and sponsor us if you say S instead of shit. What a fucking idiot. So, Ronnie gets into the limousine, and Ronnie is just fucking Mr. Knowledgeable, Mr. Street Smart. And he's like, Opie's all excited, and Ronnie's just like, so we're going to prom? What is this? Is this limousine? I guess this is what, 1977? And it was so funny to watch, like, Opie then have to pull back his excitement and be like, yeah, you know, who takes a limo anymore? He was so caught. I'm sitting there embarrassed because I'm attached to him at the time. Oh, my God. What a fucking, Apollo 13 mission. I was the LEM saving everybody, and he was the command module exploded fucking shit up somewhere.
you ever get one of those limos from like the 80s?
Oh, it's fantastic.
Where it's real. I mean, it's. Well, they're still driving them today. For some odd reason, they refurbished the engine.
Yeah.
And you get in and it just smells like cigarette smoke and cum.
Cigarette, cum, vomit.
Yes.
And stale beer.
Yeah.
And, I fucking love those, though. They're so retro. When I go to the Borgata, they send a limo for me, and it's awesome. And it's one of those. It's like old school limo. And we just get in and laugh and fucking, this is awesome. Just a crusty shag rug. Yeah, we got some DVDs if you want to watch it. Oh, do you? Some video cassettes. VCR. The VCR is over there. Really?
We got this from the Opie show.
From the Opie show. This is some of his new equipment. We're delivering it to his show. Fucking asshole. Last night, Donald Trump gave an address, a little rally down there in Tampa, was it? He was down in Florida. I think so. And, of course, just a bevy of comedy from this guy. I can't get enough of Donald Trump. And this doesn't mean – I was on Bernie and Sid the other day on WABC, and Sid insists. He goes, you're a Trump guy. You fucking love him. You do. I'm like, don't get me wrong. I look at Trump sometimes, and I'm just like, oh, this fucking idiot. He sounds like a moron. He's just saying shit. Stop. But anytime he does I love watching Donald Trump. He's hilarious. He was doing a bit. It was a bit. He does bits consistently funnier than Opie's show. The president of the United States giving a speech funnier than anything Opie's ever done. And I really mean that. That clip is up on YouTube when we spent about 45 minutes to an hour, I guess, ragging on Opie about his tweets and everything. And there were a lot of tweets. Oh, my God. I checked Twitter last night. The challenge was out there. I mean, Opie put the challenge out there. So a lot of people took the challenge and started posting things that they believed were funnier than Opie's show. His new show dropped today, yo. When he says that, my show is dropping tomorrow. Why? So are Dan's balls when he wakes up. They drop right on the floor. It's not like I want to see or hear them either. Dan's balls funnier than Opie's show. And they really are. So it's not even a pun or a joke or a gag, whatever it is. Funnier than that show. Even to Dan, I think. To Dan's wife. They're a lot funnier. But thank you for your participation in that yesterday. It was a lot of fun. A lot of people very angry, though, at me thinking like, oh, you wouldn't be anything if it wasn't for him. And then people go, he wouldn't be anything without you. And this and that. Obviously, look, I'm not an idiot. I do realize that it was a team effort, the Opie and Anthony show, that vaulted us to radio greatness.
Did you guys hear Jim this morning?
No, I was asleep.
I saw Twitter blow up for some reason. Okay.
Oh, he did.
Oh yeah, it's good.
Was it good?
Yeah, because Jimmy, first of all, he doesn't think that Opie's all that smart.
No.
He made that very clear.
No, I think
I think he said that exact words.
But he was really taken aback by the fact that Opie came out and said, no one's doing show prep, talking about your show and their show.
Yeah, that's the thing that pissed me off.
And everyone's just doing the old O&A formula. They're not trying to do anything new. Meanwhile, this guy's putting a fucking Zoom recorder on a bar and going, hey, guys, we're doing a show right now. Wow.
This
innovative.
Is a show. Yeah, he's saying we don't prepare, and we're doing the same old O&A format. Well, the O&A format was going in, having a good time, me and Jimmy laughing with each other, goofing on the news of the day or a lifestyle issue or whatever, and then closing up shop for the day. What is he talking about? That's a pretty good formula.
Look at all this.
We have stuff that we talk about.
And they address who used to do the prep back in the day.
Oh, my God.
And even Sam, who's a little weasel, won't say anything. Even that asshole is like, I can tell you Opie was not the guy doing any of the prep.
He didn't do any
He's not a prep guy.
Opie would come in. He'd have the Daily News and the Post. He would sit and eat his fucking blueberries and yogurt that Kenny had to run and get him. Kenny, go get.
Oh, jeez.
And Kenny had to get him. and then he'd read things, and that was it. And then he'd put the papers away, and we would never hear anything about what he read in the paper. I think he was just looking at the pictures. I don't even think he was reading. So
Sudoku or something.
Yeah. He was playing Sudoku or word scramble or something. And that was what he did every day. And then we would get this prep sheet that no one looked at. That no one fucking looked at. It was, I think one day, E-Rock said one day they just, or a week, or a month maybe even, they just gave us the same one every day. See if we would notice and go like, hey, this is yesterday's. We never noticed.
Well, Jim brought up an example where you guys had Ray Liotta on, and Opie didn't know what to say to the guy.
Oh, my God.
No. You didn't ever seen a movie he's in? You don't have anything you can ask him?
Goodfellas, you could at least.
You ever heard of Goodfellas?
You've probably caught Turbulence as well.
Right, you don't even have to delve into Operation Dumbo Drop.
Yeah, which you should, though.
You could just stick on fucking Liotta in Goodfellas and have a complete interview on that. Liotta at one point goes over and he goes, hey, are you sick or something?
Yes!
He goes, are
He
you
said that
okay?
this morning.
He goes, you're just being quiet over there. And Opie's just, he had nothing to say to Ray fucking Liotta. By the way, you see those Chantix commercials? Ooh, Jesus. Hey, let me tell you about, I was smoking 2 packs a day and I...
Do you like my Ray Liotta mask I'm wearing for the rest of my life?
Who is that under there, Ray?
That's how I met Gary Shandling, and I know everybody is blowing him because of the documentary. Yeah. But when I met that motherfucker, that's all I thought was he looked like he was wearing a Gary Shandling mask.
Was he
It
all
was
pulled
just-
back a little bit? Yeah.
And it was like an honor to meet him, but I couldn't get over his face. I just kept looking at him like, you did that to yourself.
Yeah. A lot of these celebrities do that.
Look at Ray Liotta, just a fucking, he's a caricature.
And why do they put him in slow motion like that? He's, of course, on the commercial, he's on the set. And he's got his script, and it's like... I was petrified. He's moving his head slow. Like those Traceba commercials. Traceba ready.
He really has had a weird career, though. Like, he was best movie ever, and then it's just kind of made and now he's on a TV show with J-Lo.
Is he on a show?
He's on a TV show.
Oh, right.
J-Lo.
Yes. Oh, who watches that?
I don't think anyone.
I don't think anybody watches it.
I don't.
It's uncomfortable. He's uncomfortable to watch now.
He smokes his blue through the hole.
Yeah,
it just takes Chantix and shakes and sweats.
So uncomfortable to watch.
Night terrors.
But yeah, getting back to, of course, the Opie thing. He didn't have anything to say to Ray Liotta.
Right.
I got to hear Jimmy's show from this morning. I'll listen when I
pretty
get home. Jimmy, by the way, I'm doing Chip's show tomorrow. And then Thursday, I believe he was talking about coming in here and discussing the whole thing that went on.
Oh. I was half hoping that either Rich Voss would be here or Jim.
Now the Rich thing, dude. Okay. Look, I know Rich is so sensitive about everything he does.
Nicole, who's here, I think, suggested that we do his show. Or someone else. I don't know. I don't know who it was.
I don't know who it was. Dude, it was hilarious, and I was dying. I'm sitting on the couch. Me and my girl are listening to the podcast you did about
My Wife Hates Me.
Me, Rich and Bonnie's
Great show.
podcast.
Great show.
They fucking destroyed it. And all I'm thinking is, I know Rich. He's way sensitive about everything. How did I do on the show? Was it okay today? Rich, you did great. What do you? I have some when we was talking about Israel. I had some good points, right? Yes, you had some good points.
Well, they have not put out a new episode since we dropped ours. And according to Bonnie McFarlane, they're supposed to put one out every week, so I don't know what happened there.
Oh, shit. Yeah, it was one thing because I'm listening and I'm like, oh my God, they're kind of nailing this. And I know Rich is going to be mad at me, but Rich, step it up then. Step up the game.
Talking about show prep.
Yeah.
The first thing he says is, dryer's broken. I had to get a new lint trap.
A lint filter thingy.
You don't have anything to talk about?
What it sounded like, it sounded like they turned a mic on right when a couple that's been married for a long time is in bed and they're just ready to fall asleep, and then one of them has something they feel they have to say to the other. That's what it sounds like. With the same energy and everything. Right. It's like, Did you let the dog out today? Did you walk the dog? Yes, I walked the dog. All right, sweetie. Good night. Good night. That's what it sounds like.
I wish it was that short.
It was, yeah, it wasn't.
So much
but it would
better.
go on and on and on. The golf score thing. Rich would
Got
talk
a
about his golf
43 on the back nine.
on the back nine.
What are we talking about?
And you just picture Bonnie like cooking in this kitchen, going, "That's good, hon. That's good." Like this is a conversation. It's supposed to be a conversation between two really good comics living at home together, and there should be some what do they call that? Oh, jokes.
Oh yeah, right.
There should
Entertainment
be
value.
Some
Right,
jokes
yeah.
in there, but for some reason I think they've gotten lazy with it.
Well, it's not like there aren't 257,000 podcasts to choose from, so it's fine. Just put out shit. People will find it and love it. That's fine.
That's
it's kind of competitive.
Yeah.
It's not easy to break through with a podcast.
When this whole podcast thing first started, it was everybody just a free for all. Get in there with your little Nintendo headset on and try to do a podcast. And then some cream rose to the top, and people became pretty good at doing it. Adam Carolla, Joe Rogan, these are guys that at least, if you like them or not, they know what they're doing. They're prepared. The equipment's good. That's half the battle right there. Half the battle.
Have a format.
Have some type of
Oh, now we're
format.
going to go to this segment. Oh,
Right.
good. It's not just a hang.
Right.
Do something.
If you notice, like, this show is different than Aaron and Gino's show. It's different. That's the format of it. Like, the format doesn't dictate that we have to do the same thing every day, but the feel of this show is different from that show. That's having a format.
Right.
You pretty much stick to being who you are and what you do. There's just so many people with nothing. There's no format.
They think they're hilarious. They go out to a bar, they
Right.
have beers, they're hanging out with their buddies, they're all laughing their asses off. Oh my God, we should have a podcast. This is so funny. And it was amazing when we first started doing the show. About half of them were people drinking while they were doing their show.
Yeah.
Because they think they're funnier.
Of course, yeah.
Only funnier.
And remember, kids, only a professional can do that.
Exactly.
There's really just one guy.
Really? Just me.
Hilarity can ensue when drunk, though, for sure.
So this podcasting thing, I'm not part of the community.
No, I guess not.
Obviously, I'm probably not well liked. We have a lot of negative reviews on our iTunes.
Oh yeah. Well, you piss a lot of people off.
Probably roughly 107.
Well, yeah, and the 3 listeners to those shows too. So it adds up a little bit more than that.
They get pissed.
They do. So I was just talking to a podcaster yesterday who went down to the podcast movement in Philadelphia. There was a conference.
Opie went there.
And Opie went to. I've been
Yes.
listening to Opie's show.
What the fuck?
While traveling to New York.
Seriously?
Opie was on a panel about storytelling.
Dude, I listened to that.
Did you listen to that?
So painful to have him being asked questions and then giving his imparting his wisdom and knowledge on the people is sad.
On storytelling?
Yeah, he would talk about what it takes to convey an entertaining tale, to tell a story on the air.
Or known as his strong suit.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, the guy has probably told a dozen stories, long-form stories on the show. And every time I'm sitting there like, when does this end? There's nothing going on
It's
here.
not compelling.
It's not
You're
compelling.
not interested in how it's going to end.
There's any good story, if I
when
may
you
tell.
just want it to stop as opposed to end.
If I may sit on the panel here and impart to you my wisdom and knowledge of storytelling, there's a dynamic to a story. It should have its ebbs and flows and then a crescendo at the end. That's it. You can't just keep rambling on.
Seems to me like you're the expert, Mark.
Ah.
Opie was at this convention and talking about how he can't learn anything from anyone. He's way too good to be there. He's telling everyone, I was a radio star in this market.
Oh, he'll tell everyone that.
Oh, he
He'll
was
show
on
people
the show.
pictures and Google. He Googles himself and goes, look, I used to be a star. In a way where you're supposed to think he's being self-deprecating and ironic, but he absolutely means it. Yeah. He's going,
Wants
look,
them to know.
I used to be somebody.
Yep.
I used to be somebody. it's fucked.
And where was this at again? A podcast where?
Was in Philadelphia.
Oh, for the
some
convention.
Yeah, there was a big podcaster convention where I can only imagine.
That's a thing,
So
right
you listened to his show from there, right?
Oh, I listened to.
He was
to
complaining that no one else was podcasting. He was the only one podcasting. People are there to meet each other, learn things, like monetize your podcast, whatever it is.
Yeah.
He's sitting there with a microphone podcasting.
The microphone inside a
background noise.
55-gallon drum, it
Right.
sounded like.
Background noise everywhere. It's like, I can't believe no one else is podcasting here. It's like, Why would they be podcasting here?
It's a schmooze fest kind of a thing for Westwood One and podcasters and everything. One of the questions he was asked is, what was the difference between broadcast radio and podcasting?
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, podcasting is so much more intimate, and it takes people longer to get to know you on radio. They don't give you as much time on regular radio. And I'm listening, just going, I've been here. This is one of his stories. I was cringing that he was the guy there asking about like podcast knowledge. He doesn't even have the right equipment.
Even if somebody asks that question, they're an asshole. It's like, what do you think?
It's an asshole question.
Money?
Yeah. There's plenty. Yeah. Well, my complete lack of money that I'm getting from this.
I don't know why you can just podcast. You can't just be a broadcaster.
It's bizarre to listen to him try to
sponsors
speak.
now.
Oh, does he
do his reads now? He does reads.
Please get me.
I'll have it on the next show.
Oh my God, is that awesome?
It's great.
Do you know any of the sponsors off the top of your head?
Yeah, there's a mattress. Oh shit, I can't think of the name of it.
Casper? Is it Casper?
It's not Casper. It's the other one.
We used to.
Helix? Is that a thing? Helix mattress?
Maybe. We used to have the sales team come in and meet with us every so often over at Sirius and even at NEW and things. And they'd be like, don't let Opie do the reads. Right. Anthony, please do the reads. If you notice, listen to any fucking recording of my entire radio career. I do all the live reads. Because first of all, there's the most important part, the ability to read. That, I think, as far as the live read goes, you have to know how to look at a word, pronounce it, move on to the next word. It's a crazy concept.
They let Edgar do a live read
before Opie. They were always saying, like, just, Anthony, you do the reads.
So I got to bring up two other things that Jim said this morning that I thought was really funny. So Jim says, Opie, you're saying that we're obsessed with your show?
Yeah.
We just have a lot of fun making fun of you.
Yeah.
And that's how I feel.
It's fun.
I'm not obsessed with this guy. I could give a shit.
Well, your show has a format.
Well, right. Exactly.
So that's just following the format of what you created.
Of the show. I answered that one, too, because I said I did radio with this guy for 20 years. If I didn't talk about more than a third of my life on the air, and it was pretty much a handful of times. It was really until just very recently because of your podcast and because of the fact that he mouthed off a couple of times on social media and his show. Then we bring him up, and then it goes away again after a while. But to say he loves thinking everyone's obsessed with me, for how much that guy hates Howard Stern, loves Howard Stern. How much he despises Howard Stern, wants to so be Howard Stern. He tries to imitate him by doing things like that. Oh, they're obsessed with me. Oh, he wants to be me.
That's the only thing they can do on their shows is talk about me. They don't have any other format. They don't have any other topic.
I've done a show here for 4 years, 4 days a week. We rarely take time off. And even when we are on vacation, we put in other shows that we pre-record. That's a lot of shows. A handful we even mention Opie.
Right.
Like, it's all we talk about? Really?
30 minutes the other day on 80-pound balls. Come on.
30 minutes on the man with 80-pound balls, which turned out to be 100.
Yeah.
And then we actually updated you that he had those removed.
That's an hour right there.
We let you know. Right.
Just a guy's
an hour on
balls.
Exactly. I could go to the
I could go for days on balls.
I could find things. How about O.J. Simpson? Being a felon ain't all that bad. Please, what is this? I need to see this.
Just some guy on Instagram caught up with OJ while he was hanging out.
Caught up with OJ.
Hanging out where?
Oh, it's a hang. It's just a hang.
It's me and OJ.
At the end,
that I would listen to.
Yeah,
I would listen to that show.
I would listen to
Hanging
OJ.
with OJ? It sounds amazing.
Oh, that's an amazing.
Can you imagine hearing him over some static just going, and then she's just bleeding like a stuck pig.
Yeah. I didn't really remember the whole thing till my second year in jail.
He would be like, hey, let's go to the phones.
Yeah. Oh, God. OJ, hold on. OJ, hold on. Snowy in Michigan. What do you got?
Yeah.
You're talking to the murderer, OJ.
Oh, that's great.
Oh, my God. Opie,
acquitted.
Have you drank that grapefruit beer? We got OJ. Yeah. I love doing it.
That was a good one last night.
Fucking love doing
Thanks,
Chip
man.
Chippers
Third
and
time's
Joe.
a charm.
There she is.
Hi.
She used to be, she used to be an intern back.
decaf?
What year was that? What year did you
I'm
used
gonna
to be
guess
an intern?
2005. Oh wow.
2007.
You need to hire this girl.
11
She's
years
been
ago.
interning
Yeah,
for
you look
11
the
years.
same.
Yeah, you look great. You look exactly the same. She doesn't change.
Yeah.
Is there any decaf?
She was one of the good ones.
Thanks.
Did I ever yell at you?
Who was the worst out of everybody?
Greg Opie Hughes. The people did want to get your take here on this program about events of this past week with Greg Opie Hughes.
That guy's good.
He he did comment on social media and on his
The video was
podcast.
very funny. The things that were funnier than his.
Oh, you liked that? Well,
I mean, I can't even think of ever putting that challenge out there.
Why would you put that out?
I challenge you to find something consistently funnier.
Funnier than this program, and
That's what he said?
he did. He put it out on Twitter. He goes, "I
no.
challenge anyone to find something funnier than my show."
Yeah.
And well, we took the challenge.
Yeah.
And we started taking.
You should have
calls
picked. You should have just tweeted a picture of the Earth and said everything on this.
We don't know about the other planets too, so maybe the whole solar system.
That's a good point. Yeah, we'll go from the sun from Uranus.
Uranus.
Yeah, what a silly challenge.
Yeah. He had said some of the to the effect of that myself and Jimmy and Sam are lazy. We don't prepare, and we
you nuts.
And we depend on the same old O&A show formula to do our show, while he, on the other hand, is doing something so different.
Yes.
And so unique.
Outside of the box.
He's taking a $3 plastic microphone, throwing it on a table in a crowded, noisy place, and go.
Yeah, it's crazy how there's no real mic. So I didn't say that this content I didn't say sucked. The audio is not great.
Audio's
It shouldn't be echoey. It shouldn't be
audio's
echoey.
terrible.
Your video shouldn't just be shot for. That's not doing something different. That's being truly lazy.
I think if I may give some guidance, I think he should go down.
Yes.
Like if he wants to record the show.
Did you enjoy the show when you listened to it?
Oh my God, it was so hard to get through. It just goes on, and there are points where they're talking about the show like it's not being on yet, which Chip does.
Yeah. Thank you. Shut up.
Chip at the beginning of the show. Chip will be talking into the mic, and then like 10 minutes in, go, well, we should start the show.
Well, at least Chip has a picture with a baseball hat on. At least Chip's picture.
Is it?
At least Lyle Chipperson. Can you see what Chip's podcast picture looks like? At least Chip has a baseball hat on.
Right.
I hope nobody else does that in their podcast picture.
The similarities are striking. Striking.
It's crazy.
And he
Who's on a show every week? Is it?
It's Carl Ruiz.
Oh, I like Carl. By the way.
I love Carl. Carl's a funny guy. He's a good guy. And, I know what that's like.
Vic and Sherrod.
He's got Opie firmly up on his shoulders, and he's
Yeah.
walking around with him. That's what Carl's job is. Sherrod, I've done Sherrod's show
Yeah, he's
plenty of
great.
times. I see him at the comedy clubs.
I like Sherrod.
Good guy.
Love Sherrod.
Henley.
Yep.
I don't know Henley all that well.
I know him a long time. He's a good dude.
Yeah, good guy. And, I don't know. How about you edit the shows down if you're not going to do it live? And if you're just going to let things happen, you can't assume that everything that happens is gold.
Yeah.
If you're not going to be in a studio and you're going to take it out to the streets, you got to cut out the parts where you can't hear the people talking. How about that? The talking over each other. You're talking about logistics of where you're going to put things. Like all that can be cut out.
Hearing us, it's almost like it's a blindingly, almost sociopathic lack of awareness from people. And I'm not gonna say who, but I got a text from a comic, and it was saying the lack of awareness.
Fucking funny. I never connected that.
Oh no!
Holy fuck! fuck is that too good?
My fucking mentor.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Look at
yeah. 2 peas in a pot and shiznit.
That is so fucked up. It's almost as if it was coordinated.
I don't know what the motive would be to do that after Chip had it.
After Chip, yeah, because Chips was first.
After.
Chips was first, and then he decided.
Chip's Twitter, is that Chip's Twitter thing? Hold on.
But
Chip's Twitter might be simple. Go to Chip's Twitter.
Really? Oh, Chip's Twitter.
Yeah, I just want to see if that's the same.
That is so fucking funny. Sunglasses.
I couldn't believe. I was stunned.
Stupid look on his face. Yeah, I mean.
Oh no! Wait, what's he say? What's in the bio too? I can't read it. No. Yeah. Oh.
Master of shock comedy. Wait, I've read that somewhere. Shock comedy. Oh, fuck. I'm shocking.
Fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah. Like a blender in a fucking bathtub.
You're shocking. You're like
Yeah, I listened the other night. Because Opie's insisting that we're obsessed with
It's
him.
just fun to make fun of him. That's it.
Yeah, we're incapable of doing a program without talking about him, and we have addressed him on pretty much every show for a week now since he came out with that stupid tweet and got on his show and was saying that we were lazy. We do the same old thing.
Yeah, I don't mind him taking shots.
You guys are doing shows 4 days a week.
4 days a week.
Once a week.
I've taken shots at him. He can take shots back. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I'll hit back all day, as much as you want.
Oh shit! You hear that, Greg?
Go there.
Hughes?
You want to do this? You want to do this?
Gloves are off.
You want to go there? Oh,
I'll take shots too. I don't even know the guy. Let's do it.
yeah.
Podcast war. Let's do it.
I love a good podcast
I
war.
got a T-shirt made.
After a while, you get jaded. I've been in so many radio fights, over the years on that show.
Oh yeah.
Oh my fucking god!
Honduras.
Oh, endless. Lex and Terry were I love those guys.
Yeah.
They were nasty, man.
Yeah.
Nasty
You guys had a thing with-
Oh boy, did we!
And they were shitty back to you.
Oh, awful. That's why I started. We didn't.
They had a good fan base though.
They did, and they were.
Here's the
they
thing.
were good.
You guys jocktobered people, and it was just unfair.
Oh, it was completely.
They were morning radio people, so they didn't have any fans. They were literally on
Their
people's.
fans weren't the ones that would take to the.
Yeah.
They didn't give a
Facebook
fuck. They didn't really have fans
Lex and
anyway.
Terry
It was on in that fucking market, right? So they didn't give a shit. But if it's if it's a good fucking fight, I think it's could be super interesting.
Those guys were actually cool. I wound up doing their show. I just went in there to do it, and they we want to talk about it. I'm like, yeah, of course. I would much rather talk about it. They were great.
Dude, there is
They're always cool. Like most radio shows, when you're on them, they're fine. Those guys. I did Man Cow recently.
Yeah.
I was out there, and they didn't have me scheduled, and I saw him in the studio. And again, I know him before I know you
Jim
guys.
Norton.
Yeah, I always.
Hey, here's Turd.
I know the shit between the shows too, but I was always weird with that because I knew him before I knew you guys.
Right.
I mean, I would have never sided against you guys.
Right. I remember though. You
were a great caller for him, and I remember I went in and they weren't gonna have me in, so I'm like, that's cool, I get it. And then he's like, fuck it, and he just called me in, and I went in, and I thought it was gonna be like tense and ugly, but it was great. It was fun.
It's all these radio battles that we were in. I could give a shit.
Corolla's great.
I never cared. Like Don and Mike. I never had a problem with Don and Mike. I couldn't give a shit what they were doing or what we were doing. There were plenty of them. Howard is the prime example.
Yeah.
I've never had a problem with Howard Stern.
I saw Robin today, and it was ugly. I was like, "Hey, Robin," and she's like, "Hi."
Oh,
crazy times at Sirius XM.
Oh, the uncomfortableness when I used to be on the elevator with Fred. Oh my God.
Terrible. Me and Artie would walk in. By the way, guy did heroin all night, and I got a decent sleep, and I got there 9 seconds after him onto the elevator.
We all get along. Gary in the hallways.
All of us
I was
do.
Fine with all of them.
One.
Yeah.
Except
one guy
one.
who, again, and that's the thing that really gets me. He'll try to make it sound like we fucked with him and we were so difficult to work with. And that, look, we all worked in the same place every day. It was me, Jimmy, and Opie in that studio. Two of the people got along all the time.
Famously.
And still get along to this day. Are not only friends, but
Lovers.
work together, lovers. And that is me and Greg Opie Hughes.
That's right. I'm the odd man out.
This piece of shit.
Well, forget the radio thing and everything. You could just tell the personality type because, like I said, I don't know Opie at all. I met him, I think, twice. Once at a Bobby Kelly barbecue, once on Bobby Kelly's podcast.
That could feed a nation. Oh, I thought you meant your barbecue.
So, but he seems like it's like if just in this business with podcasting or whatever it is, the people who aren't good at it can't take a hit.
Oh no.
It's and he was the guy that I said this before to you, I think on your show, but I was warned to just not even talk shit about him at all or make any jokes.
Isn't that was what people?
Just because it could hurt you at Sirius XM at that time,
yeah. Sirius XM, I was doing stuff with the one channel, and I'm going like we sit here and literally to your face,
poison your reputation.
To your face, I call you both pedophiles today on this show specifically.
Oh my God.
I don't like kids though, but I here's why. I don't like them as people.
Right.
Actually, you have no problem. You just can't hang out with them.
No, I couldn't keep an erection around.
Tattletales.
Yeah.
I don't like them as people.
Yeah.
But you
No, they're dumb opinions.
In this world, when I
questions. Fuck you.
It was yapping.
Google it, dummy.
Covered with gook.
Yeah. Why is that? Get on your computer. Fuck.
Kids. Go find something to do away from me.
I'm looking for love. Piss off. Watching television. Daddy's drinking.
Oh, shit.
Daddy's screaming at mommy for Pete's sake. Fuck off.
But everyone busts balls. Everyone
yes, and that's the thing.
And that's the spirit of all of it is when somebody gets mad at ball busting, or if there's something you can't talk about, it makes it truly uncomfortable. So I imagine working with him for years and years and years, you go you're coming to work every day and you want to have fun and truly let go and fucking just fire and come from the gut.
He's the fucking speed bump. We would purposefully leave him out of those ball busting things that would go on with the comics and everything, and then he would be like, "Oh, I'm being left out. Oh, they had a good relationship with each other, and they would joke and stuff, and I'm just sitting there." Well, the second someone said something, like Rich would be like, "Yeah, what, that shirt you're wearing? Oh, really, Rich?
You want to go?
Gonna go there?
You want to go? Really, Otto?
Remember that one?
Really, Otto?
Oh, is that what we do, Otto?
Really, Otto?
When Otto I was out one day, and Otto's in there, and Opie started talking about The View.
Yeah.
And Otto's like, "Jesus Christ, is this what you talk about when Anthony's not here?"
This show sucks without Anthony.
This show sucks without
Anthony. It was
Anthony.
funny.
And then
Really,
he goes,
Otto?
"Oh, really, Otto? Is that it?
Really, Otto?
Is that?" And even then, Jimmy had to be like, "He's joking. It's a joke. No one should have to say that."
Really, George? Really?
Yeah. Really, George?
Really, George? You're gonna go there?
It's you, cocksucker.
It's a puppet. It's a puppet, Opie.
It's not how you can act around funny people, man. Like being asked not to make fun of certain things. You never asked me. I've never asked you not to make fun of certain things. I mean,
Never.
But he came to me and he was like, I put stuff in his personal life, his family. Of course, I would have left that alone because that's just, of course.
Yeah.
But
because you're a professional.
I just wouldn't do that.
If there's something going on in your personal life where it's whatever, there's embarrassing or something.
Yeah, if you don't.
They're not a part of it. They're just their family.
Right.
But I mean, stuff like this.
Who can't joke about picking a grown man picking his nose and eating it?
Yeah, Jesus Christ! Like literally, like he was online at Junior's ordering a cheesecake. I've never seen anybody enjoy a treat so much.
Dig in, get a good one. Oh, did he dig for boogers?
Jesus, if there was a bitcoins, he'd fucking.
It was so tricky. He'd be like, "Oh," and you're like, "Oh, Christ!" He's picking his nose and eating it.
Way to sneak a snack.
Oh, God. And then he'd argue about why he doesn't wash his hands after he pisses. Because my dick's clean. It's like, really? You want to now shake someone's hand? And then he'd swab up the piss around the toilet seat with his sock.
It was just...
And all this shit, we're like, "You're disgusting."
Yeah.
Oh, really? And then he'd get pissed.
He got mad at me when I made fun of the words he would get wrong. I used to always make fun of him, and he goes, "Could you not make fun of me for that?"
Yeah.
We got mad at you for making fun of him being quiet on Letterman. He asked you not to do that.
Wait till he reads the book. Woofa.
Do you
I go into great detail about the Letterman appearance.
Chapter 7, the Opie silence.
Yeah. I go into great detail about before, during, and after the Letterman appearance when we went out to dinner.
Which, by the way, I thought was a great appearance by you guys.
It was fantastic. And we all went out to dinner with Bob Eatman and our significant others.
Was I with you on that? I think I was.
Yeah.
I was.
And it was great. But the shit that he was saying and the uncomfortableness
Oh, I don't remember that.
I didn't, because I didn't let him talk.
You were great.
I had to sit there. I came up with a way to tell him that I wanted the seat next to Dave, because we look at the TV screen, it's Opie and Anthony. And I don't think he wanted to fight for it anyway. I think he was scared shit of that seat. So when I sat down in it,
did you consciously, you wanted to sit next to him?
I wanted that fucking seat because I didn't want to have to go like this to talk to Dave, because I knew I'd be doing all the heavy lifting that night. So I sat down in the seat, turned to Dave, and never looked back and never shut up.
Wow.
I'm fucking going a mile a minute. Dave's laughing. All that's in my head is like, fuck, Dave's laughing.
Yeah.
This is great. Why am I stopping? I'm not going to stop to let Opie tell a fucking story that like the brake handle on a train. Sparks are flying out the wheels.
You don't think it would have been a good story?
No. And it wasn't.
Did
He said something. He used to get this thing. He couldn't move his mouth when he was nervous. It was so you could see.
I wish
it on
Otto
his
got
face,
nervous.
Because he's trying to smile and talk, and he's like, "Well, Dave, so we did this thing once and
we see it,
and I'm just sitting there like, oh my God, please, you're dying. You're dying over here, and you're dragging me down with you."
I don't remember that. I remember the appearance being good, but again, it
was great. But it was what was going through my head. Like, I sat there, and I was trying to just sit. I actually, at one point, I'm sitting there, and I'm just going, yeah, Dave. Like I'd been there a million times.
There, look at this look. It's like Anthony's, look, I'm charismatic.
It's like, you talk to a homeless guy, throw him some
like
money.
90 pounds
to somebody
back then,
juggling,
Jesus.
and you knock the things out of his hand.
They don't notice. They don't notice anything. We walked with the Stanley Cup one day, and not even a glance. Not even a glance at the Stanley Cup.
iPod it up now.
Yeah.
So not only do they not see anything, now people don't want to hear. They're just waiting for the day where we're in the like Mylar
AIDS
suits,
Anthony back then.
like the future was supposed to be. With goggles. We don't have to
Never
look.
thought you were going to live this long.
Now,
Right?
You guys
Bolts up,
have been
my friends.
fired quite a few times.
Yeah.
And
They're applauding our firing.
yeah, actually,
Wonderful.
people love nothing more than failure. But now, but it's
bored, Dave.
It seems like things always work out for you after you've been fired.
Isn't that silly?
Yeah. So now the first one that I heard of was the situation in Boston. You guys are working very successfully at a radio station
both
in
look
Boston.
good.
Yeah,
That's
this
usually
is,
the way,
you know, we don't have to watch the whole thing. I go into a Howard thing, and that's when
Yeah.
it really starts laughing. I heard that Howard did get pissed at that and told Dave to not have us on. He goes, if you want to have them on, then you're not having me on anymore.
It was supposed to be a second appearance or whatever. Then you guys went to Leno, and then they're like, "Well, Dave was going to have you on." I said, "No, he wasn't."
No, he put the kibosh on that.
Yeah, Howard probably did.
But oh my God, that was just. And then the Leno one was the same thing. I was like, well, I got to sit there because it's Opie and Anthony again.
That's smart though.
So I got the seat. That was one of those things. I got to tell you, that is a moment in your career and your life and stuff that's pretty unbelievable. When you're in that wing and they call your name and you walk and sit in that seat.
I never sat in Letterman's. I did stand up there twice, but again, he'd come over to you at the end.
Right.
But it was still weird to be there, but I never got to sit in his seat.
Sit in the chair. I was just like as you're talking, you're just thinking, like, holy fuck, I'm in this chair.
Yeah.
This is fucking, like, I watched this. I grew up watching some of this shit. And everything I did was based on watching Johnny Carson and stuff. I knew that you had to lean over when they went to commercial and just go.
Yeah.
Not say anything. I just wanted to be that guy. So people at home would go like, I wonder what they're talking about.
Yeah, what's he doing?
We're having a real conversation.
Yeah.
Off mic.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah,
friends.
even though it was literally nothing.
Yeah.
I don't think any words were really coming out of my mouth. Yeah, good times.
Yeah.
But he just he was always that just kryptonite. The Bill O'Reilly interviews that we did, and I'm trying to talk and tell Bill O'Reilly what the show is about, and Opie's like, we like to show our intelligence. When he would say that, I would never say, we like to show our intelligence.
Good reason.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, when he would say we're showing our intelligence, only an absolute stupid asshole says, I'm going to show my intelligence, and stop saying you're reinventing yourself.
Oh, God.
Stop saying that.
You turn yourself into the wheel or fire. Invent yourself as fire. He's the worst.
Well, my buddy worked at the ABC set, and like when he would cross the street, he demanded that he be alone. So if there were people on the like crosswalk, he'd be like, "Can you get rid of them so I can cross the street?"
What?
Yeah, like he's a true.
Oof.
Yeah, like a level of prima donna that's very uncomfortable.
That's a douchebag.
He sounds like Opie.
Well, when he crosses the street, he's wheeling around a little fucking Mr. Mike.
Microphone?
A little hand truck with a.
I was waiting for you to say it, and you
Chef
did.
Carl, where's Chef Carl?
Phone and.
God damn it, Doom.
Doom! Find God! Find God!
God damn it, Doom. You quit that. It's not happening for the last freaking time.